a Kezar to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way, from off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk back. It's the 49ers cutback.
It's 49ers Cutback podcast time, and it is rounds 4 through 7. We are already in round 5. The 49ers are almost up, and there are still some good players on the board. And you know what? A lot of the good players that we talked about in some of our sleepers episodes and stuff are already off the board.
Dude, Kylan Granson.
Kylan Granson gone in the 4th round. Someone we were high on that they were saying was 6th and 7th, gone. Deontay Smith,
gone.
Gone.
Janarius Robinson,
gone. So if you were watching our episodes that we were talking about 155, 172, and 180, apparently these teams appreciated those players as much as we did because they're all gone.
Gone.
Yeah.
Just gone.
So that was fun.
Feels like we've been waiting in here forever.
Yeah, feels like it. So, I mean, now we've got some good questions. Who are the 49ers going to get? Brevin Jordan just came off the board. He's no longer available.
He did. Ian Book came off earlier.
Ian Book came off, but he was never a consideration for the 49ers because you have to be good to play quarterback. And we've seen him play at Oak Ridge High School. We actually saw him play in person. So, I mean...
Saw him lose to Jake Browning.
We did see him lose to Jake Browning. The snack bar is named after me, so that's great.
It's pretty exciting.
That is really exciting.
And their coach recognized a good coach over here.
They did. Yeah, so, yes, I see Jay Ellie is saying Quincy. It could be Quincy Roche. That's
Israel McQuamu got brought up as well.
Israel McQuamu, another guy that I really am a big fan of.
The Chiefs signed Jerick McKinnon.
Yeah, the Chiefs signed Jerick McKinnon yesterday.
That was yesterday. Talked about that a little bit yesterday. AJ McCarron. Yeah, we also saw the breaking news, too, about McGlinchey.
Yeah, Mike McGlinchey's 5th-year option has officially been exercised.
And Ant had an interesting theory on this here. It's funny that they waited until today to announce that.
Yeah.
So maybe they were actually targeting a Walker Little.
I think so. I think they were targeting Walker Little.
When Walker Little went off the board, they made the move to get Banks.
Yep.
And then, from there, just decided, hey, it is what it is. We're going to give you your 5th-year extension now because we didn't get the tackle we wanted.
Yeah, they had mentioned that they were going to give it to him, that they had discussed it with him, but I think they were waiting, and I think when Walker Little was available, they were thinking about it.
Hey, Jaylee, I get it. Book is a winner. He won a lot.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of quarterbacks who were winners in college and didn't get it done once they got to the league. Just because you're a winner in college doesn't mean you're going to be a winner. Tim Tebow was a winner. He didn't pan out.
Jimmy Garoppolo's a winner, and yet every 49er fan wants somebody else.
Accurate. Jimmy Clausen was a winner when he was at...
No, they weren't.
He won some games.
Mark Sanchez won games.
Beat my Trojans.
It's true.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Kenneth Gainwell just went to the Philadelphia Eagles. That's a good pick.
That's a really good pick for them to match up with Miles Sanders.
As long as he doesn't have the COVID.
They
just said he had COVID.
Did he really?
It said it missed 2020 season COVID.
Well, he opted out.
He
had a bunch of people in his family that. He had 1 or 2 members of his family.
I apologize for that joke. I did not know that.
Yeah, it's okay.
So I think there are options for the 49ers right now. Do they go corner again? They had Ambry Thomas. Do they stack on that and get Israel McQuamu?
True.
Or like JL is saying, Quincy Roche is somebody that's available. Also, could they go offensive line again? Tommy Doyle is still out there. And the way that we are valuing guys is the same way that other teams seem to be valuing guys. So maybe Tommy Doyle is now up in this area of the strike zone.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I'll tell you another thing. I'm glad I stuck to my guns on Stone Forsythe because he's not off the board yet.
No, and listen though, we're getting closer and closer. Every pick that goes by, it gets closer and closer to him actually having some value, especially if he falls into the 6th, 7th round.
Yeah.
I mean, the physical tools that he has. If you could get a guy like that in, the Niners just shown they'll go with a big, brawly, burly, huge gentleman. At the line position. I mean, at the end of the day, Stone Forsythe in round 6 or 7, that's huge. That's huge value.
I think we still have linebackers on the board that could go.
100%. Hilliard's
still there. Mm-hmm. They could also go with a wide receiver. We haven't seen wide receiver go yet.
Marquis is there, my guys. Marquez Stevenson's on the board.
I believe Amir Smith-Marset is still there.
He's also still there, too.
Cornell Powell is still there. Shai Smith, of course, is still there.
I still think Shai Smith is going to be the guy, maybe with this pick, if not the next one.
Yeah.
At 172.
Yeah, I mean, I see Lou G saying cornerback again. Go corner again. Israel McQuamu, they haven't went South Carolina yet. They have to go South Carolina with one of their picks. McQuamu would make sense.
Yep, 100% would. And, we've heard what, they've had to say about McQuamu. We heard what J.C. Horn had to say about him. Some love was thrown his way a little bit from Debo as well, talking about just that secondary there at South Carolina. a South Carolina guy is going at some point to San Francisco.
It looks like the 49ers are about to rock these 3 fifth-round picks.
Exactly.
I wonder if they stay 155, 172, and 180, because they have 194 to play with.
It's true.
Also, they could just trade out and get capital for the future, which we've done in our mock drafts as well. It's going to be interesting, but I think the 5th round is where they've gotten a lot of great players. George Kittle and Dre Greenlaw, right off the bat, right off the top of my head, are 2 guys that they struck gold. So they can definitely find gold here.
Accurate. Larry Baron just went off the board as well.
Yeah.
You like to see that.
I like it anytime he's not a Niner guy.
The interesting thing about both Kittle and Greenlaw is that they both played right away.
Yeah.
Usually when you hear a guy that was a 5th rounder became a player, kind of a developmental guy. Those guys were both.
Well, I mean, they did ease in Greenlaw because they had Quan Alexander and Fred Warner, and they eased him in. He played about 20 to 25% of the snaps until Quan got hurt. And then he was kind of thrusted into that role. And you could see the development as the season went on, but I don't think they ever intended for him to play as much as he played in his rookie season.
But even to have him on the field for 20% of snaps for a rookie 5th rounder is...
It's impressive. Yeah,
Absolutely.
It is.
Absolutely. My big thing, too, is does anyone know what the Raiders are doing? Didn't they draft 3 safeties?
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing.
Anyone? Birdie, you here? What's going on here?
Maybe they're going to run a 4-2-5.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
I honestly think one of the safeties is playing in the nickel. I think so. I think they're going to play him at a nickel corner spot or even play 3 safeties like I told you. Kind of run a 3 safety look for a lot of it. I think some teams are going to that to be able to deal with these big tight ends. They're playing in a division with Travis Kelce. You have to have guys that can cover him, so you can do a lot of different things with bigger tight ends. With these guys that are safety kind of talent. You can't really cover them with smaller corners. They get outmatched and oversized.
True. Megan, the Niners have pick 155. The Broncos pick is in, which means the Niners are literally picking in 3 picks. They are literally going to be on the board in 3 more picks. Cleveland's going to pick, the Jets are going to pick, and then it's going to be the Niners.
Yeah, and it's going to be nice. We're going to be able to see who the Niners get. I am curious. They stuck at 155. This was the end of where I thought they were going to draft. The fact that they kept all 3 fifths and didn't move up, it is a little bit surprising to me.
It is. I wonder if they're going to, someone else is going to trade in and they're going to grab some future capital. If that was their plan, maybe next year in the 5th round. I don't know. At this point, I would not be surprised if they trade up again from 190 or whatever it is, 194, and try and get one more guy in the top 175, 180. If possible. We'll see what happens. It's going to be interesting to see for sure.
Yeah, I think there's some big names, Horse. What do you think they go? Edge rusher, corner, receiver? What position would you target right now if you were the 49ers?
If it's me personally, with the guys that are left, I would probably grab a Cornell Powell.
Yeah, so you would go receiver Cornell Powell. How about you, Alex?
Man, it really just depends. I really like Quincy Roche here. This isn't a bad spot.
I don't hate that either.
Quincy Roche, Jordan Smith's already off the board. He went early.
Which another guy we're huge on.
Big on Jordan Smith. So of course, it was Urban Meyer in Jacksonville. That wasn't a bulky pick. That was 100% an Urban pick there. So, listen, I think a nice edge rush here presence wouldn't be bad, especially since I think there's receivers still on the board. I think they're looking at Amir Smith-Marset.
There's your guy.
There's my boy Caden Stearns off the board in the 5th round. Not a bad spot for him, actually, in all honesty. But I think this is a perfect opportunity to get your edge rusher now, get a guy like Quincy Roche in, who can fit a little bit more of the role and isn't as pigeonholed in terms of just a one-trick pony guy. I know he's mostly a speed guy, but he has a lot of room to develop, and he's not going to have to do a whole lot in year 1. You got a lot of time to develop him. But, man, I could also see him going corner here as well, especially if you value Israel Mukwamu. This might be the guy here at this spot.
I was thinking maybe they would go Amir Smith-Marset because that's my guy. But I'm not sure if that's going to actually be what happens. You know what I mean? I want them to go receiver really bad, and I think Amir Smith-Marset makes the most sense for the 49ers. This would have normally been a place I targeted Amari Rodgers, well, actually earlier in the draft. The fact that he went early really hurts, but we got Shi Smith, we got Amir Smith-Marset. Those are guys I would think maybe are targets as far as wide receivers. I do like Quincy Roche, so I wouldn't be against that. I also wouldn't be against them going offensive line. Tommy Doyle, Somebody like that, I would really like as well.
Alex Faulkner just said, Kerry Vincent, please. I don't think we're as big on Kerry Vincent, but in terms of corner options,
Well,
he's there.
if he's going to be the nickel corner, I
Not
mean,
bad.
if you're looking for a backup nickel corner, I was looking for somebody that was going to make more impact this year, because I don't think Kerry Vincent can start in year one at all. And you got K'Wan Williams locking down the nickel corner spot, unless we think Kerry Vincent can play on the outside. I don't think he can, but I mean, I don't know if that's 100% accurate or not.
JLA says the Florida State University safety, Mr. Hamza Nasruddin.
Hamza Nasruddin's a great pick. If the 49ers didn't already have 6 safeties on their roster,
I would say maybe.
yeah. But I mean, he is the build. I mean, the same that they did with Obi. So
True.
he's his same build as that. He's big. He's physical. He's fast. I like him too.
Going to be very interesting indeed there. Let's see what we got. Use the 6th round pick to move up or package it with the 5th for a 4th or 3rd next year. I mean, maybe.
Well, a fourth or a 3rd next year wouldn't be worth that much this year. So that's actually a 4th or a 5th as far as value this year.
There you go.
So that's what you're looking at is value-wise. So you got to be careful trading picks in this year's draft for picks in next year's draft. They don't carry the same amount of weight.
Accurate. So it's going to be, it's just, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Don't know what's going to happen here. At this point, it's looking like we were all hoping we were going to go live a little earlier. I think that's what we were all kind of feeling and hoping for. But man, at the end of the day, it looks like they're going to sit back here at 155, unless they plan on trading up from 177, 174. Is that where they're at roughly? The next one, 172.
Yeah.
So unless they plan on trading up from 172 to go get one more guy, I just don't know. I think they're going to sit pat on their picks. It's a little shocking. I didn't think they would take 4 more guys.
What's up, Matt? And yes, Joy, Thomas Graham is still on the board.
That's true.
So he is another possibility, another option. I like when people bring up guys that maybe we're not thinking of, because then you think about the possibilities, and I think that one is.
Absolutely. I mean, it could 100% be the case here. 100% be the case.
Yeah, I didn't see Roche falling either. Did anyone else think Roche was going to fall this far? I mean, I remember we talked 4th round. We thought 4th round pick, but 5th.
It's a little interesting indeed. I was a little surprised by how far Brevin Jordan fell as well.
I wasn't, but I was on the...
But that's because of the limits in terms of...
Blocking,
yeah.
People are looking for more complete tight ends, you know what I mean? And not... Because when you can't block, you're in a limited role in what you can do.
Correct.
So I mean, yeah, at this point, would he be a red zone threat, maybe a big slot? The 49ers especially, I'm not sure if that's needed because you have, big slots already.
Accurate indeed.
Jawan Jennings, Jalen Hurd, guys like that can play it. They could also get somebody later.
Surprised Gary's not throwing out TJ Vasher right now again.
Yeah. I mean, the way that we've been going, I won't be shocked if Joshua Matter-Beebe goes here in the 5th, by the way.
I mean, listen, you've been valuing him high, right?
I thought he was a 4th round guy.
He could be a name that goes off the board literally any moment now.
Yeah, he could. So, I mean, Cleveland's about to pick, and we're getting so close to being on the clock. The Jets are right before us. The Jets took Michael Carter earlier.
They did.
That was a great pick for them. Got the running back that they needed.
So they've had a sneaky good draft. The Jacksonville Jaguars draft though has been.
Oh, the JL, he says the safety from Indiana, Jamar Johnson. Still on and he was falling on all the mock drafts.
He was.
Every mock draft we did, he was falling into the 4th and 5th round. So I don't think his fall is as surprising. I think a lot of it's his measurables, his size and stuff.
Yep. Oh, you saw what happened to Karamoa?
Yeah.
He slid.
Yeah, Karamoa slid. No shock from this side of the table.
You know why Karamoa slid? Because his weight doesn't hold him down.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could be.
That's incredible.
You know what I told him last night, Alex?
What?
Could you imagine that guy at 215 meeting Derrick Henry in the hole?
Yeah, it'd be funny.
Yeah, it's not going to work well.
It wouldn't be funny. He'd explode and you'd find pieces of him everywhere.
That you don't think that would be funny?
Well, you don't know how they're going to use him though. They could be using him in a nickel role.
Maybe.
Well, once he's got the Notre Dame uniform on, it's not funny.
I mean, that's true. That's true. Jets now are on the clock, which means the Niners are just a mere pick away, folks.
Yeah, so
just one.
West Virginia's Tony Fields got drafted by Cleveland.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty solid.
Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick.
I'm not disliking that pick at all.
By the way, did you see who Aaron Banks said the best guy you ever went against was?
No.
Jay Tufeli.
Oh. Yeah, he's lying. And
they work out together.
Yeah, that's why he said it. Jay Tufeli also went earlier today.
He did.
That was an.
I did enjoy
the Jacksonville Jaguars. Right?
I think it was somewhere around there.
Yeah, he was the first pick of the 4th.
I did like their graphic for him. They put destruction over production and struggles to find ball, which was funny things to put up on the board for a guy that just got drafted. As let's put two things that if you're a Jacksonville Jaguars fans, you don't want to see out of your D tackle.
I think what's crazy is they go there and then go Jordan Smith next.
Accurate. Niners are on the clock now, folks. You were right, Jay Ellie. The pick is in for the Jets. Let's see if they can continue their role of making actually some pretty solid
the
picks.
Jets could go Quincy Roche right now.
That would seem like a solid. They've gone pretty much all offense at this point.
That would make a lot of sense if they went Quincy Roche.
It would.
They could also be looking for a corner, so we might see a corner come off the board. My luck, they'll go with my receiver, Amir Smith-Marset.
It's true.
And I'll be disappointed again.
Again.
It'll
never be the same.
Yeah. Trey Smith is still there, but after the Aaron Banks pick, I don't think they're going.
I don't think they're going interior offensive line. Maybe a tackle, but I don't know that.
They did not take your guy.
Well, they took a second Michael Carter.
That's the second Michael
Carter. And literally it says 2. So they Michael Carter the second. Michael Carter
number 2.
4.32. That's impressive.
Yeah, he's fast. That's a fast safety.
That is a really quick safety, and you know what?
But he's not very big.
No, but Jets secondary is NFL Network just gave him a 56 overall too on his grade there. It's not really.
How does he run a 4.3 and get a 60 in athleticism?
I don't know. That seems like someone over there in their graphics department either messed something up or their breakdowns are a little off.
I think we found a trend going on. Is that you take somebody with the same name. The Jets came on and they wanted guys with the same last name. 2 Carters. Actually 2 the same name.
Basically the same person.
And took 2 Michael Carter.
Yeah. They just won up everybody in the draft.
And Michael Carter 2.
That's true.
I mean, so that works. I mean, at least the jerseys will be different.
You can call him Deuce.
Accurate.
Yeah, the 49ers took 2 trays.
And the Niners pick is apparently in.
Ooh.
The Niners pick is already in.
All right, guys.
Let's hit the graphic, boys.
What position you guys think is going to be?
I mean, this is
you think it's Roche? I'm going with the receiver.
He's going receiver. You know what? Just for that, I'm gonna go different. We'll go cornerback. We'll go Israel Mukuamu.
Ooh, I'm gonna go Amir Smith-Marset. I'm hanging my hat on that. And Horse went Quincy Roche. So hopefully one of us are right.
You know what though, bro?
I'll be good with any of those guys.
It could be the linebacker from Tulane too. It could be Patrick Johnson.
You think so?
It could be.
Oh man.
Maybe Sean Wade also here. There's a lot of options here.
There is a lot of options. Yeah. I wonder if they would go corner back to back like that.
It could, 155 too, right in the spot. This is usually where we start targeting Shi Smith. Oh man, there's so many options. There's so many juicy decisions and choices.
It is. I mean, there's still a lot of good players on the board. I think the only position that I think would shock me at this point is running back.
That would be the only thing.
Or quarterback. I think those two would probably shock me.
Accurate.
We get to see our boy Trey Lance right there.
Oh, yeah. Look at that suit.
Cheese.
Yeah.
As Kyle Shanahan calls him.
He's going to be the big cheese in San Francisco, I'll tell you right now.
For sure, my dude. That's for sure.
I can't wait to see who this is. I'm curious what they do with these 3 fifth-round picks.
Yeah. By the way, too, shout out to the first kicker in the draft getting drafted from the University of Florida. It's Kicker U, by the way, boys. It's Kicker U. Evan McPherson's got a leg.
All right, so John Lynch is on there. They're about to announce who it is. I think Ethan Waugh is going to announce it, actually.
All right, do it. Do it to it, boys. Roche, Shi Smith, Amir Smith-Marset. So many choices.
It'll probably be none of them.
It's probably going to be none of the guys. We've literally said like 6 names. It's going to be none of them. Jaylon Moore, tackle from Western Michigan.
Called it.
Oh my goodness gracious. And that's another guy we don't have a graphic for. Look at these guys.
Who thought it was going to be Jaylon Moore?
You should have went and deleted the graphics of the guys you like last night.
Yeah. True.
Oh my goodness. Jaylon Moore. Is it Jaylon? Yeah, Jaylon.
Yeah.
The glare was on my screen. My apologies, folks.
So they're going offensive tackle again.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I'm glad we got to watch the whole highlight of somebody else catching the ball, but, I mean, technique doesn't look terrible. So they're definitely going in there to improve the O-line. I mean, you start to ask questions about some of the other guys. You know what I mean? What are they thinking of Justin Skule? Is Justin Skule not going to be on the roster now?
Skule, Compton, both now are question marks, right?
I think there's big questions, big time. So they're going for value on the offensive line.
100%. Big dude. Pittsburgh just traded up as well.
They did.
I mean, look, This is a guy we hadn't targeted a whole heck of a lot. We hadn't talked about him a lot. I mean, I don't think he was on a lot of our radars.
Do we have his measurables? Do we know how big he is?
I can pull it
he
up right now.
He looked rather large.
Said 6'5", 311.
6'5", 311. Oh, that's pretty much 49ers offensive tackle size. So
it's true.
That's nothing big there. I thought maybe there was something. And also, he's the left tackle on there. Is he a guard in the NFL?
Could be.
Did they just go guard and guard?
They may have 6'5", 315, senior. So, I mean, yeah, his 40-yard dash was a 5.25, 8 foot 10-inch broad jump, 27 reps on the bench, 4.67 shuttle.
Yeah, so that's where it is. That's what makes you think he can run the zone scheme.
3 cone was 7.77, excuse me, and a 30-inch vertical.
Wow, that's impressive.
For his size, too.
Overall, he's very athletic. This guy and Aaron Banks now add a lot of size and ability to the offensive line. 49ers keep building to the front seven. And they continue to go offense. Ambry Thomas, the one guy that wasn't offense.
Played 37 career games, too. 32 starts.
Wow.
32 starts in those 37 career games that he was eligible to play in.
Do we think the Steelers just came up to get Quincy Roche, by the way?
I mean, that seems like their pick.
I mean, Bud Dupree is gone. Could it be Roche taking the spot?
Yep. Jay Elliott, 100%. Definitely shows the athletic stuff in some of his traits. I know that the 40-time speed wasn't great, but he's 320 pounds. I mean, it's not going to be fast. That shuttle time was impressive, though.
Yeah, it was.
Seeing that shuttle time, the lateral quickness is there, which fits in his own scheme. And now the question become: is this guy going to be a guard, or is this a guy that they're trying to develop both in a guard swing tackle sort of role? We could play both and move him around where you need him.
Maybe he's just going to be the official tackle backup for Trent Williams.
Possibly.
True.
Possibly. Who knows? But man, I'll tell you what.
I knew they were moving up for Loudermilk.
Isaiah Loudermilk. Well, they got the D in. They just didn't get the one I was expecting.
Interesting that Quincy Roche has fallen on some people's boards and isn't getting drafted. I mean, his value just continues to rise now the further he gets down the list. Brad Jones says this is a Tomlinson replacement for next year.
Ooh.
Maybe.
You think so? You think they're already going in? They're just replacing both guards with this draft? You know, the thing is wasn't Colton McKivitz thought, he drafted in the 5th round last year, thought to be the replacement for somebody at guard, and he's not.
It's true.
So, I mean, this is kind of what the 49ers do. They find value in the 5th round that can be developed and see what can happen. Mm-hmm. So I don't think there's any guarantee that this guy is anything more than a depth piece.
I would be hard to. I don't think this is more than a depth piece and just to see what you have in a few years and see if this guy can develop into something. I don't know if he's an exact replacement, and I'm not sure where exactly they're going to put him. I mean, he could fit in a lot of different spots potentially in this offense. He's listed as a tackle. ESPN has him listed as a guard. NFL Network has him listed as a tackle. I mean, so no one really knows what he's going to be and where he's going to play. And maybe that's the point, right? Is maybe Shanahan and Lynch view this guy as someone who could play in a bunch of different spots in their offense.
I think, right, Horse, they got to be looking at him as somebody that can just improve the depth and maybe beat out the guys they have depth-wise.
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
Amir Smith-Marset.
To the Vikings. And he gone.
I'm telling you, that people are going to talk about this guy. You watch. I'm telling you.
I mean, that's I'm pretty sure our big board too. Let me pull it up.
Are you upset about Loudermilk?
No, I'm not.
Pretty sure I'd remember that.
I think the only player left on our big board now, gentlemen, is Quincy Roche. I'm pretty sure everyone else is off of our big board list. Amir Smith-Marset is gone. He was 32nd. We got
Trill Williams still.
Trill Williams is still on. You are correct. Let's see. Brevin Jordan guard. Dylan Moses still on the board. So 42 and 43 for us.
Wow,
Dylan Moses
is still.
And Quincy Roche are both still on the board. Amari Rogers is gone. Quinn Myers
did
gone.
Mark Gilbert just go? Or who is that? Oh, that's Michael Carter. That's Michael Carter.
That's
okay.
Michael Carter, yes.
I saw Duke and I was like, no, not Mark Gilbert.
So you know what? You are right, Ant. We still got. Is Baron Browning still on the board?
No, he went yesterday.
That's right.
Into the 3rd.
So, Trill Williams still on the board. You have Quincy Roche and Dylan Moses. So, of our top 50 players for the 49ers to target, and we were hoping they'd target them in the top 150, all but 3 of our guys are gone, which means we put pretty good value on all these guys.
Yeah, I think so.
Impressive.
Dylan Moses and Quincy Roche falling was not something I don't think any of us expected. Trill Williams is a guy I think we thought, depending on how the draft went in terms of drafting slot corner talent, and slot corners have not been a high-value target for anybody, so it's not a surprise that he's still available here in the 150s, 160s.
I think we thought this was the range.
About right in here.
Yeah.
I think we were talking about him in the 155 to 172 range. So
Mhm.
I think it's well within the realm of possibilities.
Leon Nixon.
You know,
Oh, that's
the
not bad.
49ers, I mean, they're almost up. It's only, 13 picks left.
13 picks. I think we'll just stay on.
Yeah, let's just stay on. Let's
We'll just
just
stay
ride
on
it
with
out.
the chat.
49ers.
Yeah, the 49ers, as one of the video games used to always say.
It's true. And maybe they're going to, there's no way they're going to trade up at this point.
Maybe they punt kicked the whole draft.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe day 2 did not go the way they wanted to.
It didn't.
And
100%.
I think we all feel Paulson after that press conference, especially. It seems like the way he said it too. We had the cornerbacks on our board, and then we had Paulson Adebo.
Yeah, it was basically they had the guys that were at the front part of the draft, and then we had Paulson Adebo. And so Adebo was their next guy after the guys who went in the first round. It wasn't Asante Samuel, it was Adebo. And that was what we were talking about. In fact, that morning when we got asked, what should they do? I texted in the group chat, trade back and draft Paulson Adebo. And they didn't do it. They thought they could come up into the 80s, I think, where they got Sermon and get Adebo, and he went 10 picks earlier. And it threw everything into a flux. And, then they had to adjust.
They panicked. They definitely panicked.
They had to take Sermon in the 80s instead of at 102 like they wanted to, because they had to get Ambry Thomas at 102.
Yep. Listen, I'm not sure. Oh wait, Elijah Molden, the Washington, is he still on the board also?
No, Molden's gone. He went just before the Niners picked.
That's right. He went just before.
Yeah, he went to the Tennessee Titans.
That's right. Tennessee got themselves a good one.
I see Jag is saying about Simi also being available from Stanford. He is still available.
Yep, he is still available.
Yep. So there is still receivers available for 172.
They are definitely going to be going. Don't be surprised if it's receiver late.
Which receiver would you take at 172?
Of the guys that are left,
would you still go Cornell Powell?
Either him, Shy Smith. Either him or Shy Smith, probably.
Okay, that's fair.
I mean, it all depends on what they're looking for. If they're looking for the speed guy, it's going to be Simi down the sideline. I mean, that guy's super fast. Also, somebody that I don't think has went off the board yet is Cade Johnson.
No, Cade Johnson, I think he's still available.
Yeah, I think he's still available and somebody the 49ers could definitely target.
Absolutely. Jalen Darden went earlier to Tampa Bay.
He did. And the Rams continue to add receivers as well.
Yeah, I'm very confused about. Let's talk about a team that's punted this draft.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like we think the Niners maybe at this point are just going to try and hit on some gems, but I don't know what the Rams are doing.
Yeah, and Sage Surratt, they brought up in the chat as a possibility, somebody that the Niners could target. I think. Did Tillon Wallace go off the board yet?
Yeah, he
did.
Picked.
Okay, so those guys are some guys that we will be targeting.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Oh, Scary Terry, that's right.
McLaren?
No, Tamarion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Terry Tamarion. Yep. Now, Cade Johnson's still on the board from South Dakota State.
Wow. Okay, I kind of thought he was going to go in the third to fourth, early fourth.
Yeah, he's still.
Scary Terry would be a good pick though. He's a tall receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody athletic and tall. I think this is the 5th, 6th round is where I thought he was going to go.
He's got long arms, so
he does have long arms. Yeah.
When you put shoulder pads on, he still has long arms.
It's true.
Accurate. Don't be surprised to see another Florida State guy go here. Oh, it's in Nebraska. Tackle Brendan James.
Oh, they didn't go Florida State.
They went tackle.
All their Florida State guys were taken already.
That's probably why.
No,
that's probably why.
Yeah, Nasruddin's still on there.
Yep, Hamza Nasruddin still.
But they didn't really need a safety. The Chargers didn't. So.
Sac Francisco says, "I love how detailed the front office has been in this draft. The picks have been have totally been off everybody's radar." Well, here's the thing. I don't think their second round pick was supposed to be off the radar. Or excuse me, not their second round pick, but their third round pick was supposed to be off the radar. Paulson Adebo was the target, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I think that's exactly who it was. I mean, the way Lynch offered information without it being needed.
Correct.
But I think he wanted everyone to know that they pivoted.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was he didn't come out and say, "Hey, we pivoted," but he made it clear. At 43, they had 5 guys they liked, so they traded back. They traded back to get the capital to be able to come back up to get Paulson Adebo, and they thought it was going to be in the 80s. And he went 78 to New Orleans. New Orleans was just a little bit early on it, and that made the whole draft change.
Yep, and Jag, Amir Smith-Marset did go the Minnesota. Very pick after us to Minnesota. Yep.
Yeah.
So he is off the board also.
Which, that cut me deep. I'll be honest, that one hurt.
If we don't get one of your receivers, you may not be happy.
No, it's what's going to happen is Amir Smith-Marset is going to go tear it up in Minnesota, and everyone's going to be like, "Where did this guy come from?"
Well, you can come back to the 49ers cutback and talk about him, and then the Niners not take him.
Well, I mean, that's what everyone did last year with Chase Claypool.
Accurate indeed.
I would have taken Chase Claypool in the first round.
He was telling me about Chase Claypool leading up to the draft last year. He was harping on him, and I was like, I watched it, and I watched the tape, and I was like, this kid's a really good route runner, but I mean, why is he not high on people's boards? And then he went in the second, and I was like, wasn't wrong. And then he started tearing it up, and I was like, he really wasn't wrong.
Oh yeah, he came on the scene in a big way.
Real quick. See what the Ravens do here. See what the Ravens do
at 160.
Niners are 11 picks away after this pick.
Shaun Wade.
Good take.
Yeah.
Good.
A lot of value there. Somebody that can play a couple spots.
100%. 100%. They said on the board there, big nickel cornerback. 2019 was better than 2020, which Horst will attest to and agree with.
Yeah.
Because every game that he watched, Shaun Wade was getting burnt.
Well, he was getting burned by the best talent on the best teams.
I'll definitely give you that.
Yeah.
And you hope those guys.
That's like watching AJ Terrell and only watching him play against Jamar Chase and being like, he got worked. Mm-hmm. Of course he did. He was right in his hip pocket, though.
Accurate.
Yeah, Terrell's weren't that bad.
No.
Their balls were just placed perfect.
Well, and Jamar Chase is a top 5 receiver. I mean, he got drafted number 5 in the draft. I mean, he's that kind of talent. Yeah, Shaun Wade's a beast, man. That's why I liked him. He was one of the guys that I always liked.
Yep. I honestly believe this is going to be one of the few years where in the draft, there's going to be so many guys who blow up from these later rounds making teams, and it's because of 2020 and COVID. Yeah. COVID, just messed with a lot of people. It messed with them. It messed with a lot of these guys, the guys that opted out. It messed with their training programs, their regiments, their day-to-day normal lives in terms of how they prepare and how you get ready for games. And if it threw them off in any way, shape, or form, these are young men trying to adapt. Try adapting to a world that completely changes around you on the fly and then still being expected and demanded to play at a high level,
right? At
the highest level in college football, because Ohio State's not playing in cupcake conferences and cupcake schedules. And that's just tough to do.
Hey, Horst, the second person Jag brought him up this time, is Talanua Hufanga. What do you think about the 49ers taking Hufanga here in 10 picks or 12 picks?
I like it, but he's, like you said, they have so many safeties.
Yeah.
He's a great in the box safety prospect. Obviously, we don't know that he's going to work out, but that he's limited.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of calls for them to go right now with receiver.
Are you talking about the Samoan missile?
Yeah, we're talking about the Samoan missile. I do think that he could have been a nickel safety, someone that plays in the box in nickel downs because he's good in coverage. He blows up screen games. So, I mean, if the 49ers need somebody that's going to be coming up and doing that. But the thing is, Jimmy Ward and Jaquiski Tartt both play in the box and can both do that. So I don't know if we need to add on top of what we already have. Plus, Marcel Harris. Marcel Harris can do it as well.
Well, I think he's a better player than Marcel Harris.
He is a better player than Marcel Harris, but Marcel Harris already understands the system. So you draft somebody to just be better than Marcel Harris. Marcel Harris is no guarantee to make this team this year with the guys that they picked.
True.
So, I mean, that's the thing. You also got Melifonwu that they just signed to play safety at 6'3", over 215 pounds. He's a big guy that can play in the box, too.
Correct.
So, I mean, I don't know if safeties... It was never my thought they were going to go safety in this draft. If they were, I would think that he would be an option. Same with Hamza Nasruddin.
Monica just said that she's heard one of our scouts is high on Simi Fehoko. Listen, if that's the case, then it wouldn't shock me. Stanford guy, right?
Anytime in Stanford.
I mean, listen, the Stanford prospects have been on board. We all think that there's a good chance that they were targeting Walker Little, and that's why they ended up going with Aaron Banks instead. They traded back because Walker Little was going to potentially be there, one of the 5 guys they were targeting. And then he ended up going a little bit before, so they settled on Aaron Banks, the next guy on their list. So for me here, I wouldn't be shocked if Simi Fehoko is the pick here at 172. It could be Shi Smith as well. Lou G, I know you just said we need to come up and get Shi Smith here. If the Niners have 2 or 3 wideouts that are just sitting here right now that they're excited about, don't expect them to make a move. They've already shown that they're going to sit pat in this draft. They sat pat and tried to wait to come up for Paulson Devo. They traded back hoping that they were going to get Walker Little. It hasn't worked out this draft. At this point, I don't know about punting the draft, but Monica, you may not have been off yesterday. The Niners draft may have just been sleeping.
Yeah.
After they missed on a couple other guys, they're just like, you know what, screw it. Whoever's there is there. We'll just come up when we were going to originally come up and get the next guy on our list.
I think they were valuing guys the same way I was. They thought they could get Walker Little in the early 60s. I do. I think they planned on trading back again, and they couldn't work out a deal. And then I thought they were going to get Paulson and Debo in the 80s. I think that's what they were looking at. They were seeing it the same way that we were, in the same prism. And it just didn't go because some people saw the value in those players and went ahead and made moves a little early. And the fact that they just drafted an offensive tackle means they were always looking at an offensive tackle and a guard. So we might have been right all along. They could have been targeting Walker Little and Wyatt Davis, and it just didn't work out.
Don't do that.
I'm just saying, things don't work out and you have to pivot. That's why mock drafts are great, because they do mock drafts all the time. They have war room sessions where they do mock drafts and try to throw as many things so that way they can pivot and be ready for what happens. And I think that was the plan. I honestly do. Just especially with the way he talked about Paulson and Debo. It put it all in perspective, having 5 players ready.
Tommy Doyle is gone in round 5, folks. Oh my word.
Tommy Doyle's a great pick.
That is a great pick for the Bills.
Yeah.
Wow. Another one of our sleepers in our sleeper episodes right here in round 5. A guy that we thought could potentially go 6, 7, or undrafted.
Yeah.
Round 5. Right.
I told you he was going to go. I thought he was going to be coming up. So
accurate.
Tommy Doyle is so good and so smooth.
Pad level is great.
Yeah. I mean,
the technique is there also.
He's a very solid player. This is a great pick.
Not a bad one.
By the way, I wouldn't
not a bad
hate
one.
Dylan Moses to San Francisco here either.
Yeah, Dylan Moses is still an option. Hilliard, also from Ohio State, Horse is still an option as an outside linebacker who's great in coverage. So,
Gary, you're right. 14 for 25 on the likes. Hit that like button if you haven't already, folks. We just went up to 15 as well. We appreciate everyone who's tuning in right now. All 27 of you. Guys.
No, I think a lot of people think because he comes from He asked me if we think it's crazy that Dylan Moses is still there.
You're good, man.
And I'm saying, no, I don't think it is, because, I mean, as far as talent-wise, he should be gone already. But a lot of people are looking at it and thinking he's coming from that factory system.
And his knee.
Right, he's got the knee concern. So, I mean, he should be a Jacksonville Jaguar at some point.
That's what I was thinking.
But
Jacksonville is coming up, too.
But you know what? For the 49ers, they might think about it.
Kansas City just traded up.
I think, didn't they take Nick Bolton earlier?
They did.
So they're not going linebacker.
Probably
I'd be
not.
surprised.
Probably
they might
not.
be going Roche.
Jets here make the trade back. Trade back with the Chiefs. Chiefs coming up to grab somebody here. I wonder.
Yeah, I mean, Roche is still on the board. He might be the 49ers, an option for the 49ers still.
Or the Chiefs may be coming to get him right now.
Could be. Or the fact that Tommy Doyle went means they have a tackle that they're targeting and they need to come up and get an offensive lineman.
Because there may be a run on them right now.
Yeah, because, I mean, Drew Dahlman's already gone.
Sure.
They did get Creed Humphrey yesterday, which I thought was a great pick.
It was.
But some of the tackles I think that we valued are still,
accurate.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens.
Brad Jones said earlier, I'm getting the feeling the Niners were pretty happy with their squad except at QB, hence the big move. And then guard. Believe injuries cost them more than needing new players. Agreed. I think the Niners, the fact that they went out and re-signed all of their guys for the most part, their key ones anyway, that we were all thinking, we're not going to be able to get all of them. They got pretty much all of them. I think they're very comfortable with their team. I think they went and addressed the things they needed to address this draft. And now they got to figure out what they're going to do going forward because, at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to re-sign all of these guys next year. You think so?
Rookie pay scale.
That's true.
The salary cap's going up, and you're going to free up over $15 million of Jimmy being gone.
That's true.
So you're going to have like $30 million in cap space.
So you're getting Fred Warner's getting paid. You're bringing back
K'Wan Williams.
You're bringing back Jason Verrett.
Yep.
All right.
I think so.
I like it.
I think you are. You have Emmanuel Mosley for more than 1 year. You can move on from Tart. You can get out of the Jimmy Ward contract. So, I mean, the safety will be something to watch next year for sure.
It's very true.
But, I mean, they'll have to make a choice on Tarvarius Moore as well.
That is accurate.
But they are definitely set up. And I think in January, they decided that they were going to go all in on free agency because they knew they were going to get a rookie quarterback.
You know what, too? This pick could be wide receiver for the Chiefs. Thinking about it, too. This could be where they go wide.
Yeah, who's left this super fast? K. Johnson?
K. Johnson's still there. You still have Stevenson as well.
Marquez Stevenson.
From Houston.
Yeah, I kind of hope he goes to Kansas City just so your head will blow up.
I'll be very upset, man.
Yeah,
just
you
give
will.
him another freaking speed, dude. That's what they need. They just need more speed out there.
Yeah, if I had to guess, I would think this is. I would guess it's an offensive lineman, but I don't. Once again, I don't pay the most attention to the Chiefs of anyone.
No, you try not to.
I do to a point.
Try not to.
But I mean, they went edge earlier, so.
And it's your dude. It's another guy from Florida State.
Well, he can do it. It's fast, 4.65.
Yeah, it was quick.
And for a defensive end, he just didn't have a lot of production. He really didn't.
And that could have just been system. It could have been not his fault.
It could have been system.
Yep.
But I mean, do we think that if Roche makes it to the Niners, they have to take him? Is it like just imperative at that
I think
point?
they should.
Because he's the best on the board. I mean, you still do have the receivers though: Simi Fehoko, Cornell Powell, Cade Johnson.
True. I don't think there's any way Quincy Roche thought he'd be sitting here at 160, 170, waiting still to get picked.
Do they also maybe they like Mark Gilbert? Do they not wait and get him at 172?
Maybe.
God.
Maybe.
I mean, I think I would think about it because you don't want to miss out on another corner.
Especially
also, Trill Williams, also a possibility.
Trill's there as well. I mean, there's a lot of choices.
Noah Gray, tight end.
Tight end. All right.
You were close. Receiver.
Yeah.
It was a weapon.
Alex said receiver. I thought they were going to go O-line.
Oh, then Alex, you were close.
But another athletic,
I try
big tight end.
Shout out to the new sub. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for being on. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
So I mean, now we're there. We're within 9 picks, guys, of the 49ers making their next selection.
Why is Larry King on the TV?
Charlie Casserly.
Oh.
A lot of people can't see what you're seeing. So.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. So Charlie Casserly's on there. He's calling him. It
was an old dude.
Larry King. And unfortunately, Larry King passed away.
Did
But
he?
yeah, once again, Horse doesn't know who's alive and dead.
I don't.
If you're new to the show, Horse never knows who's alive and dead. So.
Rest in peace, Pat.
We got that going on.
I still don't believe you about that.
I bet you don't. I bet you don't. This guy.
Yeah, so I mean, we've got some guys that are going to be coming up. This should be fun.
Football team is
I lost Amir Smith-Marset. I'm disappointed. I lost Tommy Doyle. I'm disappointed. But I need to look more into their draft pick that they just had because I didn't watch a whole lot of film. I'm not gonna sit here and say I did.
No, I mean I didn't.
Yeah,
I did not. So it was kind of surprising. I don't think any of us really thought they would get. We weren't convinced they were going to go offensive line. So we limited
interior for sure. I thought maybe late offensive line tackle.
We had hit the guys that we thought. Tommy Doyle was one of the ones as well.
Deontay
Smith, who went in the fourth
round. Great pick.
Beautiful pick. And Mark, we appreciate that. He says, amazed at your guys' knowledge and talent, salary cap. Keep up the good work, man. We really do appreciate it. There's 3 of us. So, a lot of the knowledge that we're sharing between each other is it's being shared,
Yeah.
All of us are finding names, watching film, hey, check this guy out. Hey, I saw this. Hey, I saw that. So there's a lot of different perspectives that we're getting to and lenses because all of us see the game slightly differently.
We all do see it different.
And Alex keeps
definitely
me updated on who's alive, so I don't.
Well, except for apparently, Larry King and
you didn't
Pat
text me on that one.
My
Thanks.
bad. That's my fault. That's on me.
It is. What time is it right now?
Currently 11:49.
It's 11:49, Brad. He's at 5 a.m. there in Australia.
Woo-hoo! You up early, my dude.
I thought I was getting up early for the draft. Yeah,
I know you up really.
Yeah, that's real early.
Brad is doing his thing. Lou G says tight end.
It's not out of question.
It's not.
But the question is which tight end, because we have kind of lost some of the guys that I think we thought they would target.
Brevin Jordan gone. Kylan Granson goes early.
Was it Bowling Green?
No, he hasn't went yet.
Quentin Morris is still on the board.
Quentin Morris is still on the board. I don't think he goes anywhere before the 6th round.
Maybe, but I mean, shoot. Kylan Granson was getting mocked in the 7th in most places, and we kept saying for the longest time, there's no way this dude talent-wise shouldn't be higher. And then sure enough, he goes in the 4th, and it's like, okay, he goes before Brevin Jordan. So you like to see that. I really wish the Niners would have hit on it.
Jag put in a nice, interesting stat. According offensive 1,000 passing snaps, only 7 sacks. He's talking about Moore. So Moore's only given up 7 sacks and 1,000 pass snaps.
Well, that's a trend also, right? Because it's the same thing with the guard that went with Banks.
Yeah.
It was only like 15 pressures over 4 years and like 2 or 3 sacks over that same time. So pass protection, big thing that they're addressing in this draft. They want to make sure that they can help Jimmy, and they want to make sure that Trey Lance is protected back there as well.
And you know what? They're both big physical bullies in the run game. You know what I mean? They are. They're big physical guys. So they're definitely trying to make sure that they give up no ground. Derek Forrest, a guy I actually watched film on last week.
Out of Cincinnati for the Washington football team.
Yeah, I happened to see his film and watch it. You know what? Great selection in the 5th round. I like this pick by the football team. He's more athletic and thing than people give him. 4.41. I never even knew his time. I just watched
97.
I watched his film and he jumped off the screen. But I never saw his measurables. Like I never looked at it. But dude, yeah, he's a beast. That was a good pick.
Really good pick there. I mean, good job. Washington football team has been a little up and down today. They haven't been, I would say, consistent. They haven't been consistent with the guys that they're picking, but when they've hit in this draft, they've been hitting. There have been a couple teams that have had some sneaky good drafts. Jacksonville being one of them. The Dolphins have done a pretty gosh darn good job as well.
Jacksonville has not been sneaky. They have slapped us in the face with their great draft.
Slapping everyone in the face.
Oh my! They have just been hitting pick after pick after pick.
And it shouldn't be a surprise because, in all honesty, this is where Urban Meyer is going to excel in terms of the scouting department and going after players. This guy knows how to spot talent.
The problem is he will probably be gone before most of these guys are done with their contract.
God, I hope that's not the case, man. I hope it's Bulky that's gone and not Urban, because, man, I'll tell you what, Urban knows how to find talent. He knows what to do with talent.
Yeah.
The real question will always just be, is Bulky going to get him guys that he can work with? A few of the picks today have screamed Urban Meyer. Day 2 especially screamed Trent Baalke. So maybe they're trading rounds.
Well, I think Jordan Smith screamed Urban Meyer.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%.
The only thing is
he's a thinner, compact version of what Carlos Dunlap
Yeah, but what is Jordan Smith's arm length? Because if he is anything over a 34.5, it was 100% Baalke's involved.
Oh, God.
It's true. I mean, that was something that was big for him, was the arm length. Jordan Smith at 6'6" and 3/8, huge. I'm guessing it's 35.
Jordan,
if I had to guess. I mean, that would be Baalke. Would be all in. But that was a guy that I was hoping the Niners could target at 155. Jamar Johnson just went, so there goes the Indiana safety.
So the Broncos go back-to-back safeties, Caden Stearns and then Jamar Johnson.
Yeah, so what's again, the AFC West is figuring out how to defend. Think about that. Kansas City went tight end.
And the Raiders have Darren Waller, too.
It's true.
So.
And so you're figuring out how to defend those guys. So you're seeing that. Now, the one thing that's different is you see the Rams, Seahawks, and Cardinals going receivers to go against the 49ers. You're seeing the 49ers load up on the run game to go against them. They're going to run these guys to death and keep their offense off the field.
Yep.
I mean, so it is definitely a battle of ideals and a battle of philosophy and a battle of scheme. And I'm the old school guy that I tend to go with what Kyle Shanahan's doing. The run game never quits. If you get that run game going and it can't be stopped, you are winning games because there's less turnovers, less opportunities. The factors that you play as far as like the weather and stuff do not play factors when you have that style of offense. So I like what they're doing right now. Built through the front seven and built through that offensive line.
Tommy and Monica says they didn't get the notification. Well, guess what? That's what YouTube does. YouTube, unfortunately, isn't the best about getting notifications.
Sorry about that, guys.
We apologize. Tommy, no one forced you to watch Nothing But Niners. You just did it. You just did it. How could you, my guy? How could you? Listen, we're not sure if this guy is a guard prospect or a tackle prospect. Moore on ESPN is listed as a guard. NFL Network had him as a tackle. Websites all over the place have him all over in many different spots. So at the end of the day, this guy is probably a guy that they're developing to play that swing guard tackle role. Can kind of fit a lot of places. But as Ant said and pointed out, he very well could just be the backup behind Trent Williams.
Yeah, because right now it's Justin Skule. And I don't think any of us think Justin Skule played good last year.
No.
I mean, he didn't. So now what they went and got was a bigger, more physical guy that can fill in for Trent Williams. Trent Williams is probably going to miss a couple games. That's what he does. But you know what kind of talent you're getting for those 14 games and then the playoffs. So you have these games where you have to play the backup, and maybe Moore is a guy that they feel can step right in and do it. Also, what we're not considering is just that they needed to increase. Maybe they don't think the depth was good enough. Justin Skule wasn't good enough. Colton McKivitz wasn't good enough, and they feel these guys are better than them, so they need to bring in the depth and play them right now.
Tommy, we appreciate that, man. We're working our hardest. We're trying to get up with some of these bigger names and bigger guys so that way we can expand our audience range. Because the more people that are involved, man, the more live chat's going to be, the more fun we're going to have. And at the end of the day, that's the whole reason we started doing this. We enjoy doing it on our own, so why not do it with other people, and why not do it with other 49ers fans out there?
Right.
By the way, Jordan Smith arm length is 33.
33. So it was Urban Meyer's pick, not Baalke's pick.
It was.
Wow. Okay. Well, that cleared it right there.
If probably started a chism between them.
If I had,
it's gonna be another battle of the brains.
So you know what that means, though. That means he does carry the weight around there
a little bit.
So don't put it past them to take Charles Snowden later because he wants to get the arm length.
My guy.
Hey, Charles Snowden, he's too
good.
bad. He's good. We broke him down in the Sleepers episode.
We did break him down. It was nice.
Let's see. Someone asked about Quincy Roche and medical. I'm going to check that out right now and see if there's anything going on with him.
I think people are really questioning the blocking.
Maybe.
It's not there. I mean, it's really not. And, the 49ers met with him, so he's on their radar.
Mr. Roche.
Yeah, with Roche. I'm really concerned. And I think you saw Ojulari fall, and Ojulari was a legit round 1 guy, and he fell.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see what happens, with this guy falling. Roche was the kind of the next guy that was pure speed off the edge, and he only played the 1 season at Division I college football. So
it's true. Tommy asked, are they changing to a power running scheme with all the big bodies that they're getting on the O-line?
Our next pick is 172, yes.
Okay.
What'd he say? I'm sorry.
He wanted to know about if we think the Niners are changing to a power running scheme because of all the big bodies they're getting on the O-line.
No, they're not changing the running scheme. What they're doing is getting the biggest, fastest guy that can run their scheme. So maybe they're giving up like an ounce of athletic ability and gaining more in physical strength. So what they've done is now they had guys that were all speed, and now they're finding a happy medium of a guy that can still run their offense and play on their offensive line, but is not going to get bullied by Aaron Donald and those kind of guys in pass blocking sets.
Possible. So
the more of the Trent Williams mold, where he's a big beast that can get it done. Because if you look, McGlinchey, what was the big argument? Not strong enough. Great in the run game, but not. So they're finding that happy medium. They're going from Mike McGlinchey at 300 pounds to this guy at 311. That extra 11 pounds of muscle is huge.
It definitely can be.
Yeah, it's huge. There goes Keith Taylor, by the way. He's gone from Washington.
Think of it as a boxer or MMA fighter, the weight classes. How big a difference it is.
Oh, it can make a huge difference, especially when you're going against someone like Donald. You figure if McGlinchey's 300 and Aaron Donald is 295, but Aaron Donald's pure muscle. That's just the strength difference is huge.
Aaron Donald's pure freak.
True. Listen, here's the thing now with Quincy Roche, and I know a couple of you guys have just said I don't think they go edge rusher. I think they think D Ford is there. I think Quincy Roche though is a good little option behind a D Ford if D Ford isn't healthy. The big knock on him that I'm reading, and because there's no injury history, so it's not an injury issue with him. Most things that I'm seeing say basically they feel he's a one-trick pony. He's a just speed guy.
Right.
We saw Ojulari fall. Obviously, there's a big gap there between Ojulari and Quincy Roche in these people's minds. And so for them, this is a guy who they feel is undersized, isn't as big at 243, 245 pounds. And there's a big knock here that his speed on film doesn't translate to the 40 time that he ran at his pro day.
Yeah.
So there's a discrepancy there, and just it has teams red flags going off. So who knows?
I think this is the time though you take guys with red flags that have have potential. I see that Lou G said but Banks is just the opposite of what Kyle likes in a guard. I think that's 100% accurate as far as size. But when you heard Kyle break him down in the press conference, it was that he was athletic enough to run the scheme that they want to run. He was just the biggest possible guy that could do it. And so that's where you're finding the happy medium between the bigger guy and the guy that can run Kyle's system. So maybe he can't run it to the clip that maybe Daniel Brunskill can because Brunskill's more athletic.
Correct.
But he's the area that you're going to lose as far as maybe he doesn't get as good of a seal block or get as good of a reach block on the second level, but you're going to gain it in the pass game. You're going to keep Trey Lance upright a little bit more than you would, for the run game, and you're going to have to count on your running back to not run through a 4-foot hole. He's only going to be able to run through a 2-foot hole. I mean, that's really what you're looking at is they're finding a happy medium and developing and changing the offense as they're moving forward.
Mm-hmm. And go ahead, Horse.
I liked what Kyle said about it when he said we don't look for small linemen. It's just that smaller guys generally fit our scheme. Of course, we want big guys.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and not just that, though, too, but I think the big thing with this is maybe we're seeing the evolution of Kyle Shanahan. Maybe he's not pigeonholing himself anymore into a specific type of measurable guy who can do certain things. If he sees a guy that might be able to do some of these other things, but can for sure protect the quarterback and fits a lot of the other physical traits,
right.
He checks boxes in both categories. The agile, quick guy, the powerful, strong guy who can protect. Maybe he's willing to give a roll of the dice on some of these guys and see if they develop and see if they pan out.
Well, definitely. When you're looking at your offense and you're going to build it, especially from an offensive coordinator perspective, you're looking for a specific guy to fit a certain role. So if all you have to do, you don't care what size he is. Correct. I mean, I used to have big old huge running backs that played for me. I didn't care what size they were. You know what I cared about? how they could get the job done. It didn't matter if they were big or fast, as long as they could get the job done. That's all that matters, and that's what you're looking at. So as long as they feel like he can get the job done, they're going to go with him. It doesn't matter what his speed is, what his size is, nothing. Only thing that matters is getting it done, and that's why you've seen a little bit of the change of philosophy. Because guess what, guys? People are getting bigger and still being the same amount of athlete as these other guys.
Correct.
I mean, when you look at him, I'm telling you right now, Banks is as athletic as Colton McKivitz. He's as athletic as him. So I definitely think he can do what Colton McKivitz could do at a better level because he's bigger, he's stronger. So I think that he'll fit in nice.
So Tommy Oxen says Chapman said he thinks the guy we picked at Moore is going to sit a year. The guy from Western Michigan, he's going to sit a year. I mean, yeah.
You mean as far as just being a depth guy?
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I mean that's
I don't think he's starting. No,
that's a no-brainer. He's not starting. No. He's not taking McGlinchey's spot. He's not going to go in at guard. You're not taking him there thinking he's going to beat out Banks that you took in the second round. I don't think we're convinced that Banks is going to be the starter at the beginning of the year.
I don't think so either. I think Brunskill might.
Very well could.
I don't think I'm not putting Moore ahead of Colton McKivitz now.
You know what I just thought of too? Another guy the Niners could go with here? Hamakar Rashid.
They could.
He's still on the board.
Yeah, he's another edge guy that's got a lot of speed. Yeah, we're getting close to the 49ers pick. But yeah, there's a lot of conversations for the way that the 49ers are building the offense. Mm-hmm. I think there is. But I think looking at it through Kyle Shanahan's eyes, he's the only one that understands the offense to the level that can, understand. You know how it is, Alex, when you're running your own offense, you see it from a different way than the other coaches. And sometimes those coaches don't even understand what you're doing or evaluating because they can't see it the same way you see it. When someone does see it the same way you see it, like I think Mike McDaniel has a good idea and sees it pretty good.
Yeah.
That's when you can really get the talent that you need. That's why having chemistry in the front office and them in the front office as far as talent scouts and everything, understanding Kyle Shanahan's scheme is so important. That way they can tell you which players fit the scheme. If you don't want guys that don't fit the scheme, that was always confusing about Balky's drafts with Harbaugh. So he would go get guys that didn't fit John Harbaugh's scheme on offense. He did good on defense, but not offense.
Yeah, they're not working in tandem. Your front office and your coach have to work in tandem. One doesn't have to have necessarily more power than the other, but when they're working together in terms of, hey, I'm looking for this, can you find me this?
Right.
And you as a GM go find him that. And listen, occasionally you can splurge, right? You think a guy who can just do so many different things, I'm going to give you this tool. I know you weren't looking for this tool, but here's this new tool. See what you can do with it. Listen, if you have a coach and a GM working in tandem and a GM brings you something maybe necessarily that you weren't looking for, if you feel like you're at least on the same page and he brought you this thing, you're more willing to look into those guys and seeing what you can do in your system and scheme that you don't already do, that you can add if you're on the same page.
Yeah.
If you're not on the same page, if you're constantly getting your coach, things that he's not asking for and looking for and can't do the things that he wants to do, it's going to blow up.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of time.
And they're instilling a certain type of attitude on their offensive line. But these two guys they've drafted, Horst, don't you think that these guys are playing more bully ball as far as they're more physical in the run game, and they're going to establish an attitude that you can build around Trent Williams as well? Not a passive, just pass guys off, just do enough to get it done, but I'll put these guys in the ground.
Yeah, I definitely think that's what they're looking forward to.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Because Alex Mack's like that too, so...
Correct. Did Sean Davis just go?
Yeah.
Sean Davis did just go in the 5th round. Rangy corner.
Yeah, Tommy. I think they did draft just depth pieces for this year. I do think that they expect Banks to be able to compete with Brunskill to possibly start at guard. But the way it sounded last night from Shanahan and Lynch is that right now Brunskill would have started at center if they wouldn't have signed Mack, and that he's the leader in the clubhouse at guard. Banks is going to have to go in there and beat him out, and that right now Banks is a solidified, great backup depth guy. So now the backup spot for the left guard spot is Colton McKivitz, and we'll see what happens.
The Colts taking Sean Davis makes me feel a whole heck of a lot better about him, especially in one of our safeties episode that we broke down.
Yeah, I like him.
I mean,
your guy LeCounte just went.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, by the Browns, yeah.
Yeah,
that big too.
So I mean, yeah,
they're addressing their secondary.
Another guy that Sean Davis just has that freaking cover 3. He can cover all over the field. I mean, he's everywhere. He runs everywhere. He makes plays. He's the Madden irritating safety.
Yeah. Brad Jones asked, "Did you guys read the story about Frank Gore on Trey Lance?"
Did not. I did not read that story.
I'll have to pull it up right now so we can give you a live reaction.
Interested in
folks.
it. Interested in it.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Curious what happens with the offense overall. Oh, the Texans just traded up.
Oh.
So the Texans moved up ahead of Baltimore and San Francisco.
San Francisco. Oh my Lord Almighty! I don't care. Where is this at? Where is this at? Well, that's just wonderful. That's just wonderful. Thanks, ads.
Ads got Alex.
We appreciate you, ads. Oh, you're my favorite, ads.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna get rid of this page now because it's just annoying me.
Yeah,
that's just annoying the crap out of me.
We're 2 picks away, guys.
We're so close.
So we have any idea who this is going to be?
I don't.
No.
K. Johnson, Cornell Powell.
If I had to guess, I would say it's receiver, right? Like I would think receiver.
Yeah.
Here, but I mean at this point, who knows?
I think Roche is a definite possibility.
It is.
I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna put it past them taking Mark Gilbert as well.
Okay. Mark Gilbert here. All right.
Dan Stevenson. We do not know why Hamza Nasruddin is still on the board either.
A little confusing.
I mean, he would be a great value at 172, except for we have so many safeties.
And listen, who knows? Maybe the Raiders go fourth safety.
Yeah.
We're taking 3 already. We need TJ Vasher. We have another TJ Vasher.
We have another guy with TJ Vasher, yeah.
Gary, it's your new boy, Cody Bailey. Give him some love.
Yeah.
Give him some love. Listen, out of Texas Tech, I just don't think he's going here in 5. He's a guy that could go undrafted, Cody. So there haven't been it's been a long time since there's been a run on receivers. There's no reason to come up and get a TJ Vasher right now. Maybe in the 7th round, but the Niners don't have a 7th round pick. So you'll be targeting him as an undrafted free agent, most likely.
Yeah, I think so. I think he's somebody that could go 7th round.
Monica's sticking with her 172 Simi Fioco, 180 Talanoa Hufanga. She's putting it out there. She's been putting it out there in the world. TJ Vasher is a big body, athletic wide receiver. I don't know about how athletic. I have questions about his athleticism and speed. He's a big body guy for sure.
I think people are liking what he could possibly do in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
That has been something that I've always enjoyed is a big receiver. That's why Simi Fioco is a guy that is possibility as well. He's 6'5", but he runs a 4.3 40.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're looking at that, that's supreme athletic ability. I think we have questions about Vasher. That's the only reason why we have him going later in the draft than than other people or whatever. But I think he's a good player. But I wouldn't take him before 194. I'll tell you that much.
It's true. It's Troy Warner though, Brad. It's Troy. I wish it was Trey Warner. It would be great if it was Trey Warner. We could pick up a third.
Oh, that would have been great.
That would have been great. I think Troy Warner, and I saw this a lot on 49ers fan pages, like get the Trey brothers, Trey's in actions, and it's just like, look, he's gonna go undrafted. Safety has not been a big pick here. There's a good chance this guy's not going to get picked by anybody, which means the 49ers are 100% a landing spot for him.
Yeah.
Especially just with, trying to keep Fred Warner happy. You want to keep Big Bro happy.
Yeah. I think too, there you always look at the upside. What could Troy be? So they might take a fly. I thought they could possibly take a flyer on him at 230.
Mm-hmm.
But now they don't have 230. I don't know. Maybe they do know he's going to go undrafted.
Maybe
he wasn't in their 150 draftable players. And they're just not going to take him, but they're going to wait and see what happens.
Accurate. Texans go with a linebacker as well at a TCU. So the Niners, man, they are literally 2 picks away. Baltimore right now currently is on the clock. By the time they get done talking about Garrett Wallow here, their pick will probably be in, which means the Niners will be on the clock doing their thing. Man, oh my goodness. If you're excited right now, chat, everyone who's in here, if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. We got 35 current viewers. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Smash that like button as well while we wait to see what happens for the 49ers here at pick 172. I think we're all a little surprised they didn't move up a little earlier, but hey, they got their targets, obviously. See what happens.
And the fact is they're going, these picks are going to be rocket fire because they're going to have another one coming at 180.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Niners are about to get some guys that they can add depth to this roster. The question is how many of these guys are going to make the team?
It's going to be very interesting.
Garrett Wallow, I don't know how many people know. He's actually a pretty solid player.
Yeah, and it kind of fits. Oh, man. Dalen Hayes finally off the board there.
Okay.
To Baltimore. There's a good spot for him.
Ahead of Quincy Roche. There must be very big concerns about him being just the edge rusher, the speed guy.
Which may mean he's a perfect target for the 49ers here as just the D Ford insurance policy.
Maybe. And if they don't take him, they're feeling very comfortable with D Ford playing this year.
Accurate.
And they did get Ebicom, so...
I think that's part of it. I think the addition of Ebicom to this roster has lightened the load for them in terms of having to go edge rusher. They must be in love with him. And
Yeah.
They must feel this guy could be not just a pass rushing guy, but maybe potentially a 4-down guy.
And prediction, guys. Who do you guys think they're taking right now?
Absolutely. Chat, let us know. Who are they going to grab? 40 concurrent viewers. You'll love to see it. Smash that like button and comment.
Wow.
Comment right now. Let us know. Who are the Niners taking
Who are they
here?
taking? Horse, who do you think they're taking? While everyone's, filling up the chat
I
with who
had
they're
to
going to
pick
take.
one guy. I'm going to agree with Monica.
You think it's
Simi
Simi Fioco? I don't think that's a bad choice.
Not a bad choice at all.
I think it's a receiver, but I would not be shocked if it's Mark Gilbert right now. Don't miss another chance to get a guy that is the same build as Ambry Thomas that can fill out your secondary.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
so much talent with Hamza Nasruddin still on the board. That would be a huge option for Hamza Nasruddin. I would be down with that. Hamilcar Rashid.
Seeing some Marvin Wilsons. I'm
Okay.
seeing some Shy Smiths. I'm seeing receiver in the chat. Yeah, let us know, chat. Let's go. Spam it. Niners pick.
Cade Johnson, good one, Luigi.
It's not a
That's
bad one.
definitely a possibility.
100%. K. Johnson is there. I mean, there's just so
the
many.
pick is in.
Oh, my goodness. Let's
So
hit the
we are going to
graphic.
find out here pretty soon. The South Carolina thing. We've
Maybe.
got Shy Smith. He's thinking, not Cade Johnson, right?
Shy Smith. Also, Israel McQuamu. I think is still
Israel
on the board also.
McQuamu. So there are definitely some South Carolina guys that are available that they could go with. So this is going to be interesting. I can't wait to see who it is.
That's going to be interesting.
We're starting to get some votes for Israel McQuamu.
Israel McQuamu is now getting thrown onto the board. It would make sense.
That's a big corner. If you're looking for a guy that's an outside guy that can play big time, also could develop into a safety down the road. So
Pablo says, Pablo Diablo, back-to-back days. We'd like to see you here, Pablo. Says, I think he said wide receiver.
he's saying wide out. Yeah, he's saying go wide receiver.
Absolutely.
I think that's a possibility.
Yep, this is the spot to target him. The Niners did do my which was don't draft a wide receiver before 4. I like it.
Yeah, and I think they did what we said too. They were aggressive, just not to the point that I wanted them to.
They weren't as aggressive as they should have been. They did a don't. They did a don't.
They did a don't.
If
they would have been aggressive, they would end up with Paulson Adebo.
And Walker Little.
Yeah, I would have been aggressive. I wouldn't be picking right now, 100%.
It is what it is. They are.
Yeah, Horse believes it. He knows I would have basically given up my firstborn child for Paulson Adebo, and I don't even have a kid. Need sacrifices, man.
Hot dog.
We're trying to win that Super Bowl.
Hot dog.
Sacrifices are what it takes to win Super Bowls, and I'm here. Oh, I see a vote for Trill. That's a good possibility. Jay Ellie bringing up Trill.
Not a bad choice.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna be crazy. I mean, you know what? The one thing I don't like is it takes forever for them to tell us who they picked. It's like just flash it up there, guys. We don't need the announcement. Just flash it. I mean, this is gonna be exciting.
They're talking about the Aaron Rodgers stuff again here on NFL Network. It's not happening. He's not coming here. Please stop.
Lenoir.
That's a corner we talked about. He's in our corner special. My goodness gracious.
I did not make a slide for Diamador Lenoir because, hey, to be honest with you, I didn't make any for day 3.
Well, you also thought. I mean,
I like this pick. This is a good pick.
This is not a bad pick here. There was some talk of this guy going not getting drafted, like him going undrafted. We talked about him in our corner special. We broke him down a little bit. We like this guy a lot. He's part of the Bang Bang Hood gang as well. So we get one of the Hoodie members.
Yeah.
From NCAA college football, we get him in the secondary. This isn't a bad pick here.
No,
I like
it's a guy that can play inside. It's a nickel guy. So good value here. Diamador Lenoir is one of my corners that I really like in the draft. So I'm very happy. The 49ers finally got someone I'm very, very happy about. I mean, they've got guys I'm happy about, but this one I'm very happy about.
Yeah, definitely. This is huge here. That Oregon secondary wasn't bad.
It was really good, actually.
Solid secondary. They did really well all season long. They've been doing well the last couple of years. Man, I'll tell you what, this is a good pick here.
Yeah, and they had guys sitting out, so it was kind of interesting. Patrick. So now they went corner. What are they going to do at 180? We got Diamador Lenoir. He could play nickel. He's a 5'10 and a half. But he's 4'4'3", so he's got the speed to play man coverage.
They're definitely going to go wide out here. I think their 172 pick now was like who's the corner that we like the
most? Who's the highest on the board?
Who's the highest on the board? Let's grab this guy here, and then because I think there's still a lot of good wide receiver options. See what happens between now and then, and take your wide out here at 180, and then maybe they move back up from 194, or maybe they're sitting tight at 194. Who knows?
You know what? I don't like Leroy Butler.
Monica doubled down on Simi, and now at 180.
Could happen. Monica could happen.
So I think that's a possibility.
Cody, here's
Tadaro Slayton.
Cody, here's the thing. Yeah, for sure, I would like a big wide receiver. If the Niners are confident with Jalen Hurd
and Jawan Jennings,
what
his development was during the season on the practice squad.
If they like that, the big tall wide receiver might not be a pick. They might not be a thing. I know he's got the injury history, but Jawan Jennings, you have two options now who are going to be healthy coming into this year. If both of them get hurt, there's not really a whole lot you can do to prep for that. Like, you could draft another guy here, but if you feel there are more important needs than a big, tall wide receiver, they're not going to do it. Or if they feel they can get a TJ Vasher undrafted or someone else, a Matter Beebe, another tall, big guy in space that you can go get, they may not use draft capital. They may find something else.
Your reaction just to the name.
Yeah. Oh, so I seen Cody Bailey as saying the film is good, makes some amazing catches. I think he's definitely better prospect than Jennings.
Maybe.
I think.
Who was you referring to?
TJ Vasher.
TJ Vasher. I think the speed is pretty adequate. I think they're pretty close to the same speed. The difference between Vasher and Jawan Jennings is about 3 inches. The one thing I will say about Jennings over Vasher is Jennings is a better run after the catch.
Mm-hmm.
He's a dog. I mean, he really is. He breaks tackles and does all the physical dirty work. I'm not saying Vasher can't do that, but right now he's not at that level.
He's a go get the ball in space
but
guy.
Jawan Jennings was a 7th round pick.
True.
Vasher, 7th round pick.
Same.
I think we're putting probably in similar category. Yeah,
similar category. He was rated higher than Paulson Adebo. You're talking about Diamador Lenoir. Listen, we liked Paulson Adebo more for the ball skills specifically, and the fact that he wasn't pigeonholed and was a little bit more of an outside prospect. Diamador Lenoir might be more of an inside guy.
I think so.
Probably going to play a little bit more in the slot. The 5'10", doesn't have the same type of ball skills, but he's a good, smart cornerback. That whole Oregon secondary was smart. He's aggressive in space. He's really good playing underneath in the flats too. So I mean, this is a good pick here. This is not a bad pick.
And you needed to get someone in case K'Wan Williams got hurt.
Correct.
Now you have somebody that you're developing. You don't have to count on Dante Johnson playing in the nickel the whole time. Plus, when you get to the dime, you can also play him in that set. To cover inside slot receivers. When you're playing Arizona and now the Rams, apparently they're going to have 4 and 5 wide receivers on the field every single play. You have to have multiple guys that are able to cover them. We could even see the 49ers go with another corner at 180 or 194.
What are those two teams going to keep 10 receivers on their roster?
It's looking like they're definitely going to keep 6 or 7 for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy. All the wide receivers these teams.
They're like college team.
Basically.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's what they're doing. They're about spreading it out.
Depth everywhere. Wow. Depth everywhere at wide receiver. I don't know how they're going to get them all on the field. K. Johnson at 180, Lou? Possibly.
Yeah.
Possibly. Let's just stay healthy. We got a hell of a team. Can't wait. Agreed, Cody. Agreed. This roster is loaded with talent.
Yeah. And I think that just more and more talent all the time that they keep adding. And I think they're doing a good job of adding depth pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Which is definitely needed. You can't go into every draft and expect to get, all the impact players that you can get. But they're doing a good job so far.
Accurate.
But, I mean...
Accurate. Very accurate.
I think it's still amazing to me that some of the guys are still on the board. Quincy Roche, Hamza Nasruddin still on the board. Israel Mukwamu still on the board. So, I mean, there's a lot of talent, a lot of potential. Mark Gilbert.
Israel Mukwamu is a guy that we thought could be 2nd or 3rd round talent.
Yeah, I think later on, I kind of eased up on him a little bit because I saw him maybe translating more to a safety.
Okay.
So I think if teams are valuing him as a safety,
then that's why he's sliding.
I would take a shot at him at corner because of the size. Yeah. You don't see too many corners that are 6'4" that have the hips that can move like him, especially in this point in the draft. He could be somebody that they could really do something with.
Agreed. Tommy, we don't need a safety, and the Lambs are still trash.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
You may not be wrong there, my dude. You may not be wrong there, my guy.
We don't need a safety, but when you get into this spot, sometimes you're just taking guys because they have too much value to pass up on.
Accurate.
You're like, you know what? Hamza Nasruddin is better than the guy we have as our 4th safety right now. We need to go ahead and get him because he could develop, and that way if Jaquiski Tart or Jimmy Ward or both go down, him and Tarvarius Moore can play the safety spot. I mean, so that's when you're looking at it. Sometimes you have to just take the best available player, the best value, especially since they've already filled all their holes, I think. Because I don't know if they're going to get a tight end still. I think maybe now it's an undrafted tight end that they would possibly sign because Granson's off the board, Tommy Tremble's off the board, Brevin Jordan's off the board. So I think due to circumstance, they're not getting a tight end unless they get somebody really late that we don't see. Maybe what's his name from Boston College? I think is he still available? No, the one from Virginia.
Virginia, the one from Virginia still available.
Polian or whatever.
Yes,
Yeah.
I forget his
Quentin
name.
Morris.
Quentin Morris from Bowling Green, yes, but
Yeah.
it would have to be undrafted at this point.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Options.
there's options. I think there is, and that's
Alright,
going to be the key.
Pick is in.
So the Jets are picking after their trade back, and so
See what they do here.
yeah, they've been
Niners are close now. 4 picks.
man. Hurry up and get here. I want to see who the next pick is.
For real.
Yeah, we could need a slot. I think Lou G could be right. We could possibly need a slot receiver. I think it all depends on what they think the health is going to be of other people, but I also think that they could address getting somebody that could. Well, I take that back because we got a guy coming back that sat out from COVID.
It's true.
So I mean, if we're looking at that, he could be the actual starter in the slot.
Brad Jones, great question. Outside of the 49ers, between the rest of the NFC West, who's had the best draft between the Rams, Hawks, and Cardinals? Because seriously, every time he looks up, it's a wide receiver that they're taking.
Well, first off, the Seahawks, absolutely not. You
No,
only had
they even
3
traded-
draft picks.
And they traded back
Yeah.
on one of them.
100% not the Seahawks. I think you're talking between Rams and Arizona. I think it's Arizona because
Whoa.
Arizona struck early with Zaven Collins.
Yep.
And with him, Isaiah Simmons and Chandler Jones, that's just a great 3-4 linebacking core. They're going to cause problems and issues. They have J.J. Watt, and then they got the corner. So I mean, yeah, they're going to be on defense. They're doing a good job. Their only problem is you can still run right at Isaiah Simmons and cause problems.
And you still haven't figured out the 100% way to protect Kyler Murray consistently.
Yeah.
So I mean, they're still going to have issues on offense. They're still going to be a high-powered offense. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, no, they still got some holes to fill, and they didn't address all of them. But I tell you what, they hit our guy early. They hit Zaven early.
Yeah, that was big. I thought that really took them over day one. I thought that was a great move.
Mm-hmm. One of the better picks day one.
Yeah, and I don't think it was a shock to us that he went top 20.
No, we took him in one of our mocks at 12.
Yeah, we did.
I mean, him going at 16, we thought he was about that high. We thought he was a top 10 talent in this draft.
Yeah, I did. I thought he was definitely the second best linebacker right behind Micah Parsons, and I think it was real close. Like, really, really, really close.
Really super duper close?
Yeah, so.
Like how close?
Oh, yeah, Trent Taylor's gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
We're not going to call him that, though, Tommy. That's all you, my guy. That's all you. All you. Tampa Bay.
Demetric Felton is still a possibility. Thank you, Jag.
No, I mean, unless they value him as a receiving prospect.
Slot receiver.
That'd be the only way.
He has 2 options. He's positionless.
True. He is positionless.
So, I mean, it all depends on what you're looking at.
Yeah. Jason Pinnock there went for the Jets. Tampa Bay pick is in, so we'll see what the Tampa Bay Buccaneers do.
Yeah.
And still got 3 picks left, too.
We're
Holy
getting real
cow.
close. 3 picks. They're almost here.
Yeah, 3 picks.
Yeah, but
Oh boy, this is gonna get interesting, fellas. This is gonna get interesting indeed.
Yeah. And do we have any idea who the 49ers go with at 180? You guys have any guesses?
I'm
Horst?
thinking receiver.
Who though? Who specifically?
Horst has thought receiver for a couple picks.
For about 6 rounds now. No. It just depends if they're looking speed. Stevenson probably. If they're looking outside, I'd take Simi.
Okay.
Well,
Okay.
Or is Cornell Powell still available?
He is.
yeah,
I haven't seen him go off the board.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a replacement for Kendrick Bourne, it's probably Cornell Powell.
Exactly.
If you're looking for someone to man the slot, you're looking for Cade Johnson or for Shai Smith. And if you want somebody that's going to stretch the field vertically, it's Marquez Stevenson or Semi Fioco from the receiver position. Those are all guys that are available.
And if you're looking for a red zone option, it's TJ Basher.
True. I don't think this early.
No, I don't think so either.
If they're looking for another corner, Mark Gilbert is available. If you know,
his film
also Hilliard is still available at the linebacker position.
If you want to go linebacker.
If you want to go linebacker, like we talked about Polian earlier, tight end possibly. So there's options for the 49ers.
And once again, there's still the slight chance of Roche.
Because he's still on the freaking board, dude.
There is. I think you have to keep that in mind. There still is an outside hope, or an outside thought, because at pick 180, that's got to be tremendous value.
Yeah, it's true.
You would think.
Yeah, Brad Jones too. I think everyone is forgetting a little bit about Travis Benjamin coming back. We've brought him up a lot. Ant's talked about him a lot. Ant's pretty set on him probably making the roster. You feel very comfortable that
Travis Benjamin, he's going to start in the slot.
There you go. So there it is. You just heard it there first from Ant. So if that's the case, then slot receiver may not be the option here.
You know why he's going to start?
Why? Oh, from the U. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, no, Travis Benjamin's going to start because, number one, he already understands this offense. Played for Kyle Shanahan before. He excelled with Kyle Shanahan before. He does kick return.
He had a big year.
Yeah, he does kick return, punt return stuff. He's going to take over for Richie James. In that category, he'll finally give us someone that's more dynamic in that area that can actually score touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to be great, and I think he will play it sometimes, and I think Jalen Hurd will play the slot sometimes with that big slot role, and they'll sometimes get Brandon Ayuk, Debo Samuel, and Jalen Hurd all in the field at the same time.
Yeah.
And good luck.
Yeah, we got the highlights of Diamador Lenoir up on the screen right now for you. Ant and Horse can't see him. I can see him.
I can see them.
Can you see him?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, you can see him. I love it. Then this guy's got it already dialed in.
Oh yeah.
No, I mean this kid. The film looks great on him. Look at him there. He moved up in space, realized it's not a run, drops back into coverage, ends up being in the right spot when his defense makes the play. That one isn't a great highlight there because he wasn't in position and he ends up just being in the right spot at the right time. But this is a guy who is in the right spot at the right time. He is a smart player.
You can't expect him to be in the right place at the right time every single play. He's a college player.
Correct.
But I mean, all you want him to do is be there more times than not. As far as safety, who do we like that's left? I think number one for me is Hamza Nasruddin.
Hamza Nasruddin is yes.
It's the number one guy.
Hufanga as well is up there, but he's a little bit more limited in terms of what he can do.
They're different.
Correct.
Nasruddin is better in coverage than Hufanga, but Hufanga is better in the box than Nasruddin.
Correct.
So it all depends. You just kind of like pick your poison, pick your treat. Of course, what do you like?
Matt Patricia making the pick for the New England Patriots. You like to see it.
I do. Horse, who do you like better out of Nasruddin and Talanua Hufanga?
Like you said, it kind of depends what you're looking for. Hufanga's great, like we talked about, screens, sweeps, outside run, flying upfield and making the play, hitting you, tackling you, driving you through the ground, getting up, letting you know he just tackled you and drove you through the ground. Nasruddin's a little bit more hybrid where you can drop into coverage better. It kind of would just depend what you need out of the guy. For the Niners, honestly, I would probably say Nasruddin fits their scheme better.
Yeah.
But, which everyone knows this hurts me to say.
As a USC Trojan fan.
But I do hate Leroy Butler, so that's fun.
Yeah, he's the Florida State safety. Hamza Nasruddin is Florida State.
He's real big, real athletic. Whoever just asked that, throw his film on your YouTube real quick. He's
good.
Yeah, he's got a lot of ability. He's athletic. Shamar Jean-Charles, I appreciate that pick by Green Bay. We will now be throwing all over you again. Thank you so much.
Reconnection successful.
Megan, your stream keeps messing up.
There we go.
Oh, look who Dallas took.
Oh, Dallas took Semi Fioco.
Okay, so stream should be coming back online now, folks. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of a hiccup there. Internet connection went wonky for a second, but we're good. We're back up. We should be good to go. Let us know here in a couple minutes if that's what they go. And the Cowboys go with another wide receiver.
Semi Fioco, so he will not be coming to San Francisco.
Nope.
But Dallas obviously had a need at wide receiver.
Oh, totally. That's definitely that's the biggest need they have.
It's so ridiculous. Like, dude, stop doing the same things that make you stink. You know what I mean? It's like
there's a reason you're picking in the same spots every year.
It's ridiculous. I just can't believe it. But the 49ers they're up. They're coming up. So
they are.
Who are we gonna get, guys? Final call. Final call. Who they gonna get?
It's your last chance.
Horse, who they gonna get? Oh, that's not a good choice. Receiver. Wow.
Oh, you want a specific player?
Obviously.
Or at least a couple to lean towards.
Something. Give me something here, Horse.
Let's say Shi Smith or Quincy Roche.
Okay. The wide receiver, Quincy Roche. I like it.
Listen, chat.
I said or.
I know.
Or either one.
The pick is in. So the
pick is in for the Niners. Oh my gosh, hold on. Let's hit this first.
Y'all shut up now.
I won't be surprised if this is a receiver, and I won't be surprised if it's Cade Johnson.
Shy, Cade, or Marquez Stevenson.
Could we finally, or Cornell Powell?
Or Cornell Powell. I'm gonna go with those three. Those are the options.
I would not hate a Mark Gilbert pick right here either.
Dude, I love it here actually. In all honesty,
I really like Mark Gilbert's film, and I think he has a lot of potential. And this is a spot you could take a chance on him.
Come on, Niners. Don't fail
Jag
us
is saying Shi Smith.
Shy's not a
Caleb
Caleb
bad
is
option.
saying Shi Smith.
You realize
possible.
it's going to be someone none of us will
It's
say.
gonna be It's gonna be another guy that we don't have a graphic
Hey,
for.
maybe the guy. Maybe it's what's his name?
It's Talanua Hufanga from
Wow.
the USC. Oh my lord!
Wow, Horse just spent a minute ago telling us it was going to be Hampton Nasruddin over Hufanga. How does that feel?
I was wrong, but I like him.
So it's Hufanga, everyone. Talanoa Hufanga has come to the 49ers. So they got another safety.
Wow.
So you know what this is? Special teams.
He can also play that, what they did with Marcel Harris.
So does that mean Marcel Harris is
Bye-bye.
maybe not going to make the team?
I'll tell you what. Definitely one of the safeties they had on the roster last year might not make it now.
Yeah.
It's definitely up in the air. But Talanoa Hufanga makes it. Monica called it.
Yeah.
She had been saying Hufanga. She did say Talanoa Hufanga at 180. Her original was Simi Fioco and then Talanoa Hufanga. She did call it at 180. Good job, Monica.
Swag.
All
I
over it.
am really surprised that he was available.
At 180?
180.
Yeah,
Yeah.
at 180. This isn't a bad pick here, and they obviously
No.
like something here that he does that someone on the roster isn't currently doing.
Well, he does great things in the box and around the line of scrimmage.
Caleb, we do have a graphic for this one. And just for that, you get it again. Look at that man there. Look at this man up here.
Oh yeah. And so you have an idea that I thought Talanoa Hufanga was an option for the 49ers.
Ah, we did.
Woo!
We did.
We got one.
Hey, we hit two. We hit two
Swag.
graphics this whole draft so far, guys. Two is better than none,
So
though, I
that's
guess.
what Hufanga brings, if you want to know. Swag.
Swag.
Dan Stevenson said he had this back in March, and this is the first one he's real excited about for the 49ers that they've made. I don't think that's unfair.
It's not unfair.
I think you can feel that way as a 49er fan.
100%.
You know,
100%.
because we talked about this that the Niners go off the reservation.
They do sometimes.
And they get guys that you don't know who they are. Now the key is as long as those guys show up and tear it up, then that's all that matters.
I'll tell you what, the last two
Chiefs
picks.
pick Cornell Powell.
Cornell Powell goes right off to
Wow.
the Chiefs.
Going receiver. So they got a guy that they wanted, obviously. So good for
Do the
them.
Niners only have the one more pick?
Yeah, the Niners only pick at 194.
It's the last one, guys.
So I mean, we got, I think since 181's in, we got like 13 picks left.
13 picks.
12 picks.
Yeah, might as well just sit.
Yeah. So
We'll
I mean,
stay on.
it's almost time.
Accurate.
Yeah. You know
the
what?
stream's going wonky again, dude.
Is it really?
Yep.
Yep. Stream is messed up again. What the heck is going on?
I don't know. I just took down it's back up now. Should be back up now. I
Okay.
took down the stream. We won't show pick 194. Internet's just not cooperating with us today, folks.
Yeah, it's strange.
Apologize.
Oh, never mind. I know why.
Oh.
The Xfinity said there could be work in the area.
No, well, there you go. Today.
Yeah.
We're getting that.
We're battling through it right now.
So we won't be able to show you any graphics anymore the rest of the stream for 194 because I got to save that bandwidth to stream to y'all, so I can't be uploading and downloading at the same time. So we're gonna save that bandwidth. No worries. We'll stick with you here the rest of the way. Megan, hopefully it's back up. Let me know if on your end if everything's smooth over there, especially since at our house, our place, the internet is lightning quick. But guys, let's talk about.
Tommy said it's fine on his end.
All right, good. Tommy, thank you. We appreciate
Yeah.
it. Let's talk earlier. We had brought up about from Brad Jones, Frank Gore, and his take. So it says how Frank Gore helped the 49ers draft Lance number 3 overall over other quarterbacks. So apparently they reached out to Frank Gore for his opinion on Trey Lance. And I'm not seeing a whole lot else more. But apparently they reached out to Gore, and Gore told them something along the lines of, you're not going to give up all of that capital anymore for a pocket passer. You don't give up all that and still need to call a perfect play for a guy. You go up there to get a guy who you call the play. It may not be the perfect play, but he can turn it into a perfect play.
Okay.
So he gave them that piece of advice.
Okay. I mean, that's a decent take.
And his take essentially was, you're going to get a guy who you like there, obviously. But he basically said, basically told Kyle, look at it from your perspective, right? You can get a pocket passer who can have success, or you can go get a guy who doesn't have to be confined to the pocket, and you're adding him to it. You can make him a pocket passer all you want, but he doesn't have to stay there.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
Huh.
That's fair to a point. I mean, I think that what we got to remember is they got to be successful in the pocket first. Look at Steve Young. When he was a runner, he wasn't successful. when he became the pocket passer that eventually made him into a Hall of Famer. That's when he was successful. A pocket passer that could extend plays in the outside the pocket. That's how Aaron Rodgers is. Those are guys that are special. Patrick Mahomes, a guy that can is more dangerous in the pocket than outside the pocket. But when he gets outside, he can extend and make plays. So you're not looking for someone that's a straight runner. That's not what you're looking for. Those guys don't win Super Bowls. Randall Cunningham, Cam Newton, those guys can't win Super Bowls if they can't create in the pocket. So yes, the running has to be there to a point, but I think it's more to extend plays than to actually run the ball and win. That's why Robert Griffin III and guys like that are successful in the short term, but not successful as far as winning championships.
There you go.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obvious that these days with how athletic the defensive players are, that you need a quarterback. Like we've talked about, he doesn't need to run a 4.4, but he needs to be able to move around in the pocket.
Yeah.
No.
It's all about extending plays, right? Keep your eyes down the field.
Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, no, this is
Carson Palmer.
I'm all for what the decision was here. Jesus Christ, with Carson Palmer,
the
this
little
guy.
stone-footed guy.
It's not good, Horst.
Dan Marino.
It's not good. Yeah, now you're just hitting guys that aren't at all any of those categories whatsoever. You completely you're going out. You're the 49ers now. You're off the reservation.
He's off the reservation. Yeah.
Completely off the rereservation.
Is that Bruce Arians or a lookalike?
It's definitely Bruce Arians.
I feel like he hired a lookalike.
Looks like he had some Botox done, in all honesty. He's definitely been celebrating a little bit. It's been celebrating a little bit. They want a Super Bowl,
Who do we think the Niners target with their last pick? I mean, we can see it. It's coming up in the distance. It's 11 picks away.
Yep.
I mean, is it finally the receiver? Everyone's clamoring for the receiver. They have not went receiver yet.
Dude, I'm not convinced anymore. I'm not sold on who it may be. I don't know. Edge, if Quincy Roche's still there, I would say you get him at 194. Because they're obviously comfortable. They didn't go with their wideout earlier, so I mean, who knows?
Yeah, that's what Dan Stevenson's asking. Is it going to be edge, wide receiver, linebacker, or O-line?
I would be fine with Justin Hilliard, Quincy Roche, or Marquez Stevenson. If it's one of those three picks, because I don't think Shi Smith's making it now.
Oh, he's going to make it.
You think he's going to make it down there? I don't know if he will.
I think.
What about Terrell Williams?
No, we've already addressed corner and we just went safety. I don't think we're doing it.
No, I'm saying
Mark Gilbert.
I wouldn't be upset, but Mark Gilbert, maybe. Maybe. There's still a lot of guys on our board who they could take.
Yeah, a lot of guys that we've talked about in this range.
Dylan Moses still too. And Demetric Felton.
Yep.
Jack just said it.
Maybe, yeah. Demetric Felton is one of the guys I like, but I don't know if they're going to go running back now. So they'd have to view him in a positionless role to play the slot.
Have to.
I would think the Rams or one of them are going to take Demetric Felton.
He seems like a guy that would fit there.
Yeah.
He definitely does.
I like Demetric Felton. Okay, there goes the fullback, Ben Mason, to the Ravens. So
places, yeah.
Lamar Jackson, I'm sure, is excited about adding a fullback to increase the run game there.
It's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
Well, that he doesn't have to throw the ball very far to get it to this guy. So
I mean, they're just adding to what they're going to do on the run game.
Do you have concerns about Lamar Jackson's arm strength, Horst?
I have concerns about his accuracy.
I mean,
I have more concerns about his potty breaks.
I mean, yeah, in the middle of the game, forcing Trace McSorley to go out there. Listen, man's the GOAT, but you got to give him time to prepare. Come on.
Hey, Ian Book's comp, Chase McSorley.
Hey, that was hilarious. When we saw them take it, they compared him as Trace McSorley. That was funny. I almost put on the song.
We put it on a dime. Like y'all ain't even trying.
Just a kid from Briar's where he's wearing number 9.
Yeah.
Man, Coach Franklin.
So Ben Mason goes off, so that's not anyone the 49ers would have been interested in taking.
No.
I think they still got Hockett on the roster as well.
Correct.
Breaking. Oh, he get fired? Oh, okay. It's high school news.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Albergini from Grant got fired.
Oh my.
Yeah.
That's
actually big. He's been doing it for a long time.
What's sad is he only wanted to coach one more year.
Yeah, well,
he ain't gonna do that.
Nope. Well, he had his one more year last year.
He ain't doing that. He got his one.
Hey, when the hammer falls, it falls.
It is for sure. Chargers pick is in.
Yep.
Inching ever so close now.
Dan Stevenson said, Dylan Moses is still out there. Yeah, that's 100% correct. He is.
He is.
I'll tell you, that'd be some great value also.
Man, 6th round.
Yeah. Let's see. New England picks. That's a possibility. New York Jets. He's a possibility to go there.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are spots that could go between
Jets
the Niners.
could go edge as well here. I mean, the Jets could.
Chargers could.
Atlanta maybe. I know they went linebacker already, but you never know.
Yeah, they could all go. I mean, actually,
Philly especially too. They got 2 picks before us there. Their linebacking core wasn't necessarily the greatest last year. A guy like Dylan Moses might be able to get them all in the right spaces and the right spots.
Yeah, they haven't taken any D-line yet.
No, they haven't. They have to go someone on the D-line. It'd be the first time in years we wouldn't have taken anyone. Yeah, but I don't know. I don't know if they will. They did a lot of the Arden Key signing, the Hurst signing, everything.
They're not going D-line.
I don't think so either.
No, I don't think they are. We were kind of thinking they weren't going to go D-line, and we even thought maybe not even O-line, the way they were acting.
Correct.
I'm glad they did address the O-line.
Me too.
That's why on our mock drafts we made sure we had to, because we just thought they were going to end up doing it, but it was looking there for a minute like they weren't.
Cody, we agree with you there. Moses is definitely a steal here in the 6th.
Oh, 100%.
He's not a 6th-round talent.
No, he's not.
No, we had him in 3 to 4, somewhere in there, depending on how his health was.
Yeah, and could the Jets be going Dylan Moses?
Maybe.
I mean,
linebacker or edge rusher.
Isn't Hilliard still available?
Hilliard's still available as well.
Wow, there's a lot of great talent still available for the Niners at 194.
Mm-hmm. And these are guys that we thought all could go in the 150 range.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. So Shai Smith is still there.
This has definitely been a draft where teams have gone need and not best available, or even like talent at a certain position. They've gone need and guys who have fit scheme. Teams are shifting and evolving in the NFL. Guys who maybe don't necessarily fit their scheme or their mold of player, they're not willing to take chances on them.
Yeah, I think so. And I mean, we're getting close. I mean, the Niners are almost here. I did not expect them to make all 4 picks today, but it sure looks like they're going to do it.
It looks like they're going to.
And they have a specific plan that they've implemented overnight, and I think they're moving through and getting the guys that they want, And
you know what that means for you, chat? More content next week. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, because if we're taking all 4 of these guys, you got a lot of videos coming out next week. We got a lot of breakdowns to discuss, and you want to subscribe because you don't want to miss tomorrow's episode, which is going to go live at 11 a.m., in which we are grading this draft. That's right, draft grade 11 a.m. tomorrow morning. You don't want to miss that video. It's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of conversation, a lot of things to discuss and go over, a lot of grades for each pick. It's going to be a fun one.
I'm 100% glad we didn't grade like round 1, then round 2 and 3, like as far as like right after they happen, because last night I needed a break.
It needed to digest.
I needed to digest and also hear what they had to say about what was going to happen. So that way, but I'll tell you right now, I'm going to give them. I'm going to grade them fair on what I believe. I'm not sugarcoating it. I'm not taking the fan angle on this. I'm going to give them the actual grade that I feel that they get for this draft, and that's I just have to do it the way I see it, I guess.
No, each of us are going to have our own little spin on this. I feel a lot better today, knowing what I know now about yesterday's draft, and seeing at least the first guy they took, or the last 2 guys that they've taken. I feel better about what they're doing and what the identity is going forward. Trenches is obviously important, but they feel they're good in the trenches on defense. They shirted up offensively. They grabbed some secondary help today as well, making sure they're going to have a guy that they're comfortable with rolling at the safety position as well. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do with this pick. I feel pretty good about this draft. If you had told me a month ago that we traded up to 3 for Trey Lance, I probably...
Hamza Nasruddin to the Jets. So.
Good pick there.
Good pick.
It's there. But if you had told me a month ago we were going to trade up to 3 to get Trey Lance, I would have had concerns. And then after I hear Shanahan's press conference and him talking about Lance and how smart he is and just the way he breaks down film, the way he was seeing the game, you think already that he checks some of the boxes in terms of what he wants his quarterback looking at and seeing. And if he checks those boxes, it makes Kyle Shanahan's job a little bit easier.
I don't hate this draft, but it's like I just have this sneaking... I'd rather had that guy. It's not that I hate Aaron Banks and don't think he can be a good player. But, I'd rather had Wyatt Davis.
Yeah.
Or even Paulson Adebo, at that spot. I'm bigger. I like Trey Sermon more than you do. I know that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's another one of those, man, you probably didn't need to pick him that high.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I get from this. I don't think it's an F or a D or...
Well, don't give your grade yet. That's tomorrow's content.
I'm
no freebies, horse.
Sorry, I almost gave a freebie. I don't think it's like a bad, but I think especially outside of Trey Lance, the beginning selections did leave a little bit to be desired.
Well, I think it does show that they had to pivot. You know, I mean, they pivoted off what they wanted to do. It's something that you have to do when you just don't know how people are going to evaluate talent the same way. We know that people don't evaluate talent the same way we do. We're trying to think as the same way the 49ers do, and we were right on some and wrong on some. And that's just how it is. You can't hit 100% on these guys.
You could try.
Can't.
You could try,
No,
right?
you can try, but you just can't.
It's just impossible. It's an impossibility. And look, here, at the end of the day, we feel we covered a lot of good talent. A lot of that talent went very, very early in this draft. Guys that we were high on that we talked about for weeks and months now went in the first 4 rounds. You know, they went in the early part of day 3. So for the most part, we feel like we were on most of these guys.
As far as value-wise, 100%.
What's crazy
some of them fell.
is you were one of the first people I heard mention Zaven Collins.
Yeah.
Hey, man, I told you guys that the Arizona Cardinals, a couple of the podcasts that I watched, they were losing their minds over that pick. They hated it. They did not like it. They were not fans of it at all. And it was just one of those things where I was just kind of like, man, they had an idea in their mind of what they wanted to go get, and they were not paying attention to talent around that area. You know, the guy kind of changed his tune. He had a video that released the other day, and I watched it, and he was talking about it. And he's like, you know what? The film's actually really good and all this stuff. And it's like, yeah, like this is one of the top 10 best players in the draft. You got him at 16.
Yeah.
You should be thrilled right now.
I mean, you should be considering him as high as far as thought as Isaiah Simmons. He's better in the run game than Isaiah Simmons is. And that's what scares me about Arizona's linebacking core, because he's a freak that can do all kinds of stuff, including rush the passer. And you needed him, especially once the 49ers went Trey Lance, because now you have to account for him. They need Simmons and Zaven Collins to help account for Trey Lance in the run game.
Cody, I disagree with you there. I don't think Asante Samuel Jr. was high on their board because they said there was the top corners and then there was Paulson Adebo. I think Paulson Adebo was near the top of their board in terms of guys they wanted. They knew they could get him roughly in the 80s range is where they could probably target him. So they were going to sit tight. I think the guy that was actually there, and I don't think it was a safety. I don't think they were going safety high. I think it was Walker Little. I think they wanted to tackle. And he went right. They traded back right into the area where he might go. He went a few picks before them, and so they just pulled the trigger on their next guy on the list after Walker Little. It was Walker Little,
the next highest guy on the board,
and then it was 100%. Aaron Banks.
And you know what, Asante Samuel, the reason that you don't think it's the guy is because their next target was Ambry, a guy that plays outside. I don't think a lot of people think Asante Samuel can play outside in the NFL. I don't. I think he's a nickel corner.
More of a slot nickel guy.
I think he's a nickel guy, and he's more kind of in that role. So they went with the next guy that could play outside, which was Ambry Thomas. But it was definitely Paulson Adebo. John Lynch said it. It was all the guys in the first round. So he said it. All the guys in the first round, and then Paulson Adebo.
Yep. I think Paulson Adebo was the target, and I think all of us, I know that made me feel happy to hear that because we've been on Paulson Adebo for a long time.
I agree with him.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
He doesn't think Banks fits into the zone scheme.
I mean, that's one of the knocks, right? Bigger guy, doesn't move as well as maybe, some of your more agile linemen do.
Well, I don't think they would have drafted him if they didn't think he fit the scheme. Kyle Shanahan is not reinventing the wheel.
That he can.
Yeah, we pulled up that 3-cone drill. That 3-cone drill of his was nice. And so was the other guy they just drafted as well. He was a bigger body guy. So,
well, and Notre Dame ran outside zone.
But hey, let's be honest. In Cody's defense, when I watched film, I had the same reserves.
About Banks.
Yeah. Whether he could fit in the zone scheme, there is that question.
It's why we didn't talk about him.
Right.
Yeah, we didn't. You're right.
But they've kind of changed a little bit of the body style. They found a happy medium now.
Mm-hmm.
We were looking for a Mike McGlinchey mold, somebody that could kick inside and play. I thought they were going to go tackle that could play guard, or Wyatt Davis, who was more athletic than Banks. But you know what? There you go. Banks is the guy, and we're gonna find out real quick if he can fit into the system.
That's for sure.
You would think he did his due diligence, though. Mike McGlinchey will know if he could fit into the system, and Mike McGlinchey was all in for this.
Yeah, he was all happy about it. So I mean, this is a guy McGlinchey's familiar with. So there you go. I mean, at the end of the day, here the Shanahan and Lynch have not done anything that makes me think we need to question anything that they're doing, or question decisions that they've made. If they feel a guy who doesn't typically check their boxes does actually check their boxes, I'm inclined to just roll with it and see what happens.
Well, the first thing I'm not going to do is tell Kyle Shanahan what fits in his system.
That also.
And the other thing I'm not going to tell him is that your system can't change, because one of the things that an offensive coordinator does is build an offense around the players that he has.
Okay, this is a thing that a lot of people argue over, which I think is silly. As a head coach, and you guys know, every year when basketball season would roll around, I would change my playbook year to year based on how the team was. And not like huge drastic changes, but, maybe it's a little more freedom one year, and then a little less freedom the next year because you don't have the same level of basketball IQ on the floor or intelligence. It's the same thing in football, right? If you're going to give receivers and running backs and tight ends choice routes in certain packages against certain coverages, 1 year, if you don't re-sign all those players, you don't have all those players coming back, maybe the next year, there's less freedom for receivers. There's easier reads for a quarterback.
Right.
There's different types of route concepts against different types of coverages and defenses that you're facing because you have receivers that have different skill sets.
Yeah.
So every year the offense is going to change, even if it's just a little bit. It's a little bit. It changes. It adapts.
Well, I mean, if you had Deebo Samuel and you just lined him up to play receiver, and you didn't use all of his talents, you didn't run him in reverses, you didn't run fly sweeps, you didn't put him in the backfield and let him run outside zone. If you didn't take advantage of all the things that Deebo Samuel can do, you're not a very good offensive coordinator. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. When you see these coaches that leave a receiver on one side of the field, don't motion him, don't move him, don't use him in quick screens or specific roles, that's not a good coach. And what you see is Kyle Shanahan finds a player that he likes because he can think of all the things that he can do with that guy. Mm-hmm. That's why he drafted Deebo Samuel, Jalen Hurd, Brandon Ayuk, because he can find guys and do certain things with them. Swiss Army knives, like, oh, I can do this, and this, use his skill set. And that's what he does with every player that he gets. He figures out how to use their skill set. George Kittle, he uses him better than anyone possibly could at the tight end position. I think George Kittle would be good on other teams. I don't think he'd be as great as he is right now because he's got Kyle Shanahan. And I think that nobody knew how to use Deebo Samuel to the way that Kyle Shanahan did. And you watch. I know they cringe every time I bring him up, and I'm okay with that. I'm going to stand on this mountain. Is Jalen Hurd in this offense is going to be the most ridiculous person because he's going to open up the offense in ways you can't even imagine. And you're going to see weird offensive sets that are going to be great, and you're going to see him turn into a power back that can also create in the red zone and then motion out and also create when they don't have anyone to cover them because they're in other sets. They came in a natural run set.
You came out running 5 wideouts. They go into a nickel package, and then you motion Jalen Hurd into the backfield
and run him on an outside zone or an inside zone. Yeah.
I still remember how excited you were once I told you to look at him as a running back.
Correct.
And you did?
I did.
By the way, this was a great exchanger here. Cody Bailey, but definitely Banks is a big body who should be able to slow down Aaron Donald a little bit. JLE, Brunskill can do that. Gary, Brunskill has done it. It is accurate.
That is not wrong.
Brunskill
the Aaron Donald killer.
He is. He's an all-pro when he faces Aaron Donald, my dude. He's good. Maybe they got Banks for his financial connections. All right, Dan, we see you.
His Instagram name is Banks of America.
Yeah, he's a cake eater.
That was the thing Ant said as soon as he picked him. He said, "Oh, we got a cake eater.
We got a cake eater." We got 6 picks to go, and I think we've had a good conversation of what Kyle Shanahan does on offense.
And Luigi wants to know. He says, "Hopefully, Roche will slot to finish." He said, "What's the issue with Roche? Why is he sliding?"
Got to be just that they see him pigeonholed as a speed rush
and the size.
And that's what we talked about with Ojulari. That's why he fell all the way into the second, into the 50s. They don't think he's a base 3 down, defensive end in the NFL, and he's not. The one thing is Roche and Ojulari can develop into that. So now taking him this late, you can definitely take time and develop somebody into that role in that position. But taking him early, you definitely couldn't because you're expecting those guys to go contribute right away.
Correct. And this guy wasn't a dominant speed edge rusher. He didn't put up the gaudy numbers that a guy like D Ford put up in college.
Yeah.
In any of his years there. So he's just not someone that's going to go very, very high. He has similar traits and skill sets. His 40 time was impressive in his pro day, but when you watch his film, it doesn't look that explosive as he did at his pro day. So what's the reasonings for that? What's the reasoning behind it? Is it technique? Is it coaching? And if that's the case, why did Gregory Rousseau and Jalen Phillips shine where Quincy Roche maybe didn't as much?
Well, one thing is Jalen Phillips was a number 1 guy coming out of high school.
Correct.
And played at UCLA and was considered one of the best in there was. So he didn't really need a lot of development at Miami. Rousseau did develop at Miami, but also you got to remember that Roche was only there for 1 year.
It's true.
He was a transfer in, so he's coming in and playing 1 year in a shortened COVID season. There's no way he got the coaching level to develop his game to another level.
Correct.
So he will get that in the NFL, and he will develop. But still, I think there is the questions if he's more than just a speed guy.
Correct. Dan Stevenson, his way too early predictions for most improved teams of 2021. You guys, as I read the teams off, you agree or disagree. Okay. Atlanta. Orst?
Mediocre rise.
Mediocre rise?
I think they're better than last year, but They're not playoff team.
They're still in the division with Tampa Bay, so that's 2 losses.
That's 2 losses right there. Listen, I'm not convinced.
I still think New Orleans is better than them.
I don't think they did enough
Maybe.
in this draft to address defense. So as for now, for me, yes, the offense is going to be explosive, but can you stop anybody?
Right.
Can Matt Ryan stay healthy? Can you protect him? We'll see what happens. Next up, Jacksonville.
Yeah, big time. I thought they've had a fantastic draft.
I think they win 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Dude, I wouldn't be shocked if they go 8 or 9 this year.
Oh no,
And
I
get above
saw
500.
4, and then after today's picks, I would say 5 or 6.
I'm
with Horst.
going to go with 8. I think of all the
you're
teams.
counting too much on your boy.
I'm counting on Urban. Let's see what happens.
Tennessee's gonna smash them.
They might. They probably will.
Indianapolis is gonna smash them.
Well, that defense is pretty good in Jacksonville.
Hey,
man.
so that's 4 losses right there. It's
How
in the
is their
division.
defense good?
All the guys they just picked up right now, man. It's.
I mean, they could
Urban
beat
Meyer.
Houston, so they got that going for
So
them.
you think you're gonna stick
Don't
a
have to worry
bunch
about
of
it.
rookies out
Hey,
there?
Trey Hill finally went from Georgia.
Yeah,
There
he's
you go.
large.
He is.
And
Big
5'4", 540. I'm
Hold
faster than him.
dude. Ooh, that's true.
Hold up, you think you're gonna stick a bunch of rookies out there and shut down Derrick Henry and them?
I didn't say that.
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say they were going to win against them. He
I
just
said
said he was going to win
probably
8
gonna get
games.
smoked. I said they were going to win 8 games. We'll see.
Was that the only 2?
Jets,
They're going to be improved.
definitely.
Yeah.
Hard not to be.
Also
I
true.
think the atmosphere changes because of Saleh.
I win that many games,
They're going to look like a better
but
team.
I
though.
could see them being a whole lot more competitive and not doing stupid things like leaving guys in one-on-one man that run a 4-2
Oh.
when you're up
So
by
you-
a touchdown.
So not throwing. Got it. They're not going to throw games. Makes sense. Denver.
I think Denver's improving. I think if Denver was to steer up their quarterback position, I would think they would be a lot better. I still don't trust Locke.
Yeah.
And I don't. Teddy's not going to come in and win a lot of football games for you. He'll win some games, but
He may help you win a few more games that Locke may lose for you.
There's an interesting one.
And then the last one on that list, guys, Arizona.
Arizona definitely improved.
Yeah.
I think they improved their defense more than their offense because I think it was weird kind of going with Rondale Moore because you just signed A.J. Green and you already have Andy Isabella. So it's like, what are you doing there? But other than that,
The only thing about them is I don't know that it shows up in the win column.
yeah.
Fair enough.
Because this is kind of the year where if Cliff doesn't improve, and Kyler doesn't improve, that you start questioning what Cliff is doing down there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think so because they've built, right? They've improved every year. As long as they make the playoffs here, they've done their job as far as getting the team where they wanted to build it. Like we talked about the Niners, you built and then you made the playoffs.
Correct.
You make that run, and I think this could be the year that Arizona gets over the hump and gets into the playoffs.
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Well, that's going to be fun when we have our schedule release predictions.
That's true. That's
So
not
say
bad.
No,
that.
I think they're a tough team. I don't mean that they're going to suck. I just...
You
Agree
just
to
don't think they
disagree.
make the playoffs?
Agree to disagree.
I think
Always.
this is the year.
I'm just joking. Horst. I have fun with you.
Horse is going to be okay. It's going to be okay. The Edge Johnson's still out there from
Yeah,
Southern.
Raymond
Yes,
Johnson's still out there
Correct.
from Georgia Southern. That is correct.
absolutely. Taryn Jackson just went from Coastal Carolina.
And
That's
Raymond
another guy.
Johnson's better than him.
We agree.
Yeah,
We actually left Taryn Jackson off of our list because we liked Raymond Johnson a little bit better.
agreed. So now that we're within a couple picks, we got to start talking who the 49ers are going to take here.
Man.
And pretty much everyone that we've been talking about is still on the board.
Trade back, get 3 more picks in this draft, and then draft all of them.
No, do not do that.
No.
By
the way-
what position?
I
He doesn't know.
Come on, Horst.
every time I say it, I'm wrong.
So then say something ridiculous.
Long snapper.
Ooh,
Bye, Pepper.
not going to happen.
Bye, Pepper.
They signed Pepper to a
I would,
extension.
Nope, he's gone.
Yeah.
He's
I would
Horst just
pick
said
up Bobby Shepard, long snapper, Fresno State.
it. Hey, man. Good old B. Shep. Solid choice.
Dan Stevenson says edge or wide receiver.
I think it has to be one of those 2 spots.
I mean, I want Roche here.
I won't be
man.
surprised if this is a corner.
If
I
it's
won't.
hey, listen, Mark Gilbert, Roche, Hamaka Rashid,
Yeah.
I'd be,
Hey,
any of those
all
3
three
I'd
of
be
those dudes
super
Hey.
happy with.
Israel Mukwamu,
He's still
Hey,
on the
he's
board
still
too.
there.
What is happening?
Dylan
Yeah.
Moses.
Oh my God! You know what? Never mind.
Every name that has just been said, I'd be
see,
down
see y'all. Whoever it is, I'm
There's just so many. Okay, Deontay Brown from Alabama just
I'm
went.
kind of upset we didn't get louder milk.
So, hey, here we go. We're on the
Oh,
clock.
of
49ers are on
course
the
that
clock.
guy played. It was 5.57.
Yeah.
Holy shnikes.
Well, that's why he doesn't fit in a.
I'm
scheme.
faster
I
than
think
that.
I might have been faster than that, or that fast in high school.
It's possible.
That's slow.
By the way, shout out to our new sub. I don't know who you are because your channel's private, but hey, shout out to the new member of the community.
Great having a nice sub.
we
absolutely.
heart you.
We do.
So who's it going to be officially? One of those guys that we just mentioned?
No, probably someone who's never even.
So-
heard
It's
of
going to be
never heard
none
of-
of them, dude, because we haven't been.
We
Literally.
haven't hit one.
Hey, outside chance, Javion Hawkins,
Hey.
Israel Tucker,
Who knows? Who
Caleb.
knows? Oh, bro. Little Debo.
Yeah.
Debo Jr. running
Yeah.
around out there. Bro, if he doesn't get drafted, the Niners need to pick that man up.
Who?
For real. Israel Tucker.
pretty good.
Oh, man. He's
Caleb
good.
Hartley was pretty good too.
That's true.
Or Huntley.
Huntley.
Yeah.
Caleb Huntley was good too. Big body, but with the signing of Trey Sermon, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, unless they just want to stack on it.
Just get a bunch of them. Just start molding them out here in San Francisco. Just going to turn out big, burly, huge backs.
I mean, Demetric Felton's still on the board.
Man, there's so many options.
Could Felton go undrafted?
Holy cow if he went undrafted, dude. Holy cow if he went undrafted.
That's an epic fall. I mean,
Well, that's an epic fall. I think
Epic fall.
That means the Niners are taking him. Right? If he falls that far, they're taking him.
what's up, Johnny?
Ooh, look at that.
Who's that?
Johnny said, "What's up to
Our fellow Niner
49er
bums. What's up, my dude?
What's up, man? Welcome to
How's
the
it
channel.
going?
Glad
Welcome
to have
the
you
channel.
on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be fun right here. This is the pick. I mean, this is the last one. I mean, their pick is in. They made the pick.
You heard it here first, folks.
Last guess, Horst.
I'm gonna throw out.
Last pick, Alex.
Roche.
For Horst. I'm gonna go with Mark Gilbert.
Ooh. I think I'm going to go with Shi Smith. I'm just going to lean into it. I don't know if I'm right. I would be cool with any of these guys. I'd be fine with Roche, Moses,
Trill
Williams, pretty much all of them. But
There's really no. I mean,
It's gonna be none of them.
it's going to be none of those guys. But in all honesty, it's 194. It's your last pick. You're just going to take a flyer here on a guy that you like and see what happens.
I think I would like it to be one of the big time impact guys. You know, somebody that could really make an impact as far as like Moses or Roche.
I'd be down for Dylan Moses.
Is Cade Johnson still available?
Cade Johnson is still available.
Holy shnikes.
Yeah, dude, there are guys all over the place. This is going to be
Marvin
interesting.
Wilson's still there too. I mean, we'll see. It's
Yeah.
gonna be, man, so many options, so many choices here, and I don't know.
Josh Amader-Beebe.
Josh Matterbeebe, yeah, that's a name and a player. He's pretty talented.
Right
too.
after Diamador Lenoir and Talanoa Hufanga.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
add to the difficult names to
Do
be
it.
able to spell.
Let's do it. Put a Matterbeebe in
Actually,
there.
once you spell it once, it's actually easy because the last Elijah Mitchell, running back, Louisiana.
Interesting. Very.
So they went another running back.
Holy cow! And we
4-3-3. There's the speed guy.
Holy shnikes! 4-3-3. There it is. That's
That's
why.
it.
That's the
why.
speed guy.
That's why.
That is what did it.
His athleticism is 99.
Yeah. So they went all speed, all talent. So
Well, there's your Raheem Mostert replacement. There.
so you thought it was Javion Hawkins, but it's actually Elijah Mitchell.
Man, that's fast, dude.
Yeah.
4-3-3 40 time.
You can't do
That's
that?
quick. No.
Hey, this
No,
guy.
not even a little bit.
This guy's so fast, he makes fast people look not fast.
Not fast. I'll tell you what, you couldn't put rockets on my feet.
So
and I could
did
run
they
that
just
fast.
get a guy, Raheem Mostert, and then a guy for Wilson in case either one of them get hurt? Sermon and then Mitchell.
Looks
Yeah.
that way, doesn't
I
it?
mean, hey, listen. There are two running back. I think this is the end. This signals the end for Jermichael Hasty, and Wayne Gallman may not be on this roster.
Could not. But you know what? Elijah Mitchell, they might see him as somebody that maybe doesn't make the roster and they stash on the practice squad.
Maybe Elijah Mitchell goes down in training camp.
Oh yeah, he might get hurt. That's true. He might get that phantom injury.
Niners are known for phantom injuries
Yeah.
in training camps. Cody Bailey not happy with it. Chat, what do you think? How did you like that pick? What are you feeling? Let us know about it. I mean, a little bit of a surprise that it's a running back. I think we all thought maybe receiver or edge. They're set on edge. They're comfortable. They're set at the wide receiver position. They're comfortable. I think they're going to grab some undrafted free agent wide receivers and add them to the roster. Johnny Coolwater, really feel we killed it this draft, but only time will tell. I hope Jimmy G comes back strong. Kyle takes time with Trey. Glad we beefed up the O-line. That's a great take right there, my guy. That's a great take. We feel that as well. He also feels Hasty is too small, in his opinion, in the NFL.
I don't think so. This guy's not that big either.
No, he's tiny too.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think he's too small. I just think the way Kyle talked about him last night was that they had unproven guys. So JaMycal Hasty's going to have to come in and camp and prove it. There's no guarantee that this guy makes the roster because he's a guy that needs to come in and prove it. He's a 6th-round pick. There's no guarantees with the 6th-round pick that you're going to make the roster.
Yeah, 100%. Clearly, Dan Stevens says they are not planning to re-sign their current running backs after their contracts expire.
That's a fair point.
That is. You're taking a chance on some guys. Tommy says, this draft is a C.
Oh, my God.
Tommy, you're great. Scratching a groove into my head right now. It's puzzling, man. This has been an interesting draft for the 49ers. They have really just gone out of their way and really picked some doozy of some players. I mean, in all honesty, this is definitely a wait and see with this draft.
Yeah, I mean, Alex, what do you think? A Q&A for like 10 minutes? You want to do a quick
Q&A? Let's have a Q&A. Chat, questions. If you got questions right now, hit them up. Let us know what you think. Ask us what you want away. Ask away. What do you want to know? What are you feeling? Don't ask us for our draft grades. That's coming out tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., so hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. That way, whoops, wrong scene. That way, you're notified when that video goes live. But yeah, questions right now. You guys got 10 minutes. We're going to come offline here right before 1:20. We got some stuff that we got to finish getting ready for tomorrow's stuff and the rest of the week. So yeah, let us know right now. Question away. Man, didn't expect that coming.
Thanks, Luigi. Appreciate you having you on all weekend. It was great. Great comments, great questions. So thanks for being on with us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Megan asked favorite pick of the draft and least favorite pick of the draft for the 49ers.
Favorite pick had to be Trey Lance.
Okay.
I think that was my favorite one. I think overall least favorite. You know what? I don't really have one that stands out as my least favorite. I think my least favorite thing was the trade up for Sermon, and not so much the pick of Sermon, but the trade. So I didn't really have a player that I disliked them getting, but I disliked the trade up.
Yeah, Horst.
Said the stream screwed up again, by the way.
Tommy, we're good on our end over here. I'm not seeing anything, so that may just be a you thing. I got perfect everything across the board here, whether it's YouTube or whether it's OBS.
I'm good too.
My favorite pick, I'm gonna have to go with probably Trey Lance. I mean, it's so important. My least favorite, there's no one they picked that I don't like. I don't have a least favorite.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to go with favorite pick right now. As of this moment, my favorite pick is Trey Lance, but it has the potential to be Diamador Lenoir, depending on what happens.
I do like that.
However, my least favorite pick of the draft isn't a pick. It's the trading back from 43 and not making sure that you got yourself Walker Little. I think they went a little, not soft isn't the right word, but they just weren't as aggressive as I wanted them to be. I think that's my least favorite thing of this draft, is they did a don't.
Yeah.
Don't not be aggressive.
Got passive.
They wanted Paulson Adebo. Go get him before the 80s. If you think he's going to go in the 80s, go get him before the 80s. Don't wait for him to fall to you. Don't wait for a guy if you're in love with him. That's a big no-no for me. It was the one thing I didn't want them to do this draft, and they did it. And hopefully they don't do it again. They don't make that same mistake the next time they're in this position.
So we got what? Favorite trade, least favorite.
Oh?
Yeah, the last one.
Favorite trade, least favorite trade is the last one. Agreed.
Yeah.
Agreed. What are the chances that we pick up TJ Vassar?
If he goes undrafted, I think it's a possibility. I mean, they will have a spot. They had Poindexter on the practice squad for a couple of years. He was a 6'5" receiver, so maybe they would get somebody like that.
Megan, you were right.
What was she right about?
She was right that we weren't going to get done until closer to 1 or 2.
She was right.
She was right. She was right. Great job, guys. Wonder Faithful fan out. Cody.
Yeah, thanks for being on, Cody. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Monica.
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
We love y'all. We love y'all. Lance and Hufanga are my favorite picks from Dan Stevenson. Those are good picks.
Yeah.
Good picks.
Yeah, I think a little surprising they were still there, but...
Tommy wants to know if they were drafting drunk.
I don't know. Maybe Jed York made all the picks.
Hey, Jed York was having a lot of fun, so who knows, man?
Yeah,
Who
100%.
knows, my guys? Who knows? Come on, chat. We got some more questions. What do you got for us? There's 31 of you here. San Francisco gave up way too much for guys that nobody else was going to grab anywhere near where they took them. You never know that because you don't know where these players fall on boards. But I can tell you one thing for certain. Trey Sermon was not going to be going before 102. So it's just kind of at the time it was baffling. Knowing what we know now, it's not as baffling of a selection. But most of the time you're gonna come up and get a guy if you're really in love with him.
Yeah.
He was the next guy on their board. So
they had to make the move up to get Sermon so that way they could get Ambry Thomas.
it's true.
If they wanted Paulson and Debo and they didn't trade up in time to get him, they needed to come up into the 70s and they weren't willing to go until the 80s.
Got to be aggressive.
I think they could have easily thrown 117, 121, and 194 at somebody and been able to come up in the 70s and get him. And I would have done it.
I would have.
I 100% would have got him.
JLA wants to know priority undrafted free agent targets. Grant Stewart from Houston.
Grant Stewart, 100%. Tucker.
Israel Tucker.
Israel Tucker.
I mean, at this point, if them going to running backs,
Yeah.
Israel Tucker might actually be an option because they may be trying to add talent and depth to the running back room to see what they got and weed out the weak.
I think a tight end that wasn't drafted, they'll probably pick up a tight end.
Especially if Quentin Morris goes undrafted.
Because Chase Harrell is gone. They cut him, so he's a possibility.
Accurate.
Raymond Johnson, if he doesn't get drafted, he's a possibility.
Mhm.
Troy Warner, of course, which we didn't talk about, he's a possibility.
Absolutely.
I think Troy Warner probably has the best possibility if he's not drafted.
Well, I just think, if he's not drafted, he's not going to want to go anywhere else other than where his brother is. And if you're Fred Warner and you want your brother around and you think, he said he thinks he's more talented than he is, you want him to have success, you're going to want him in San Francisco, and you're going to probably leverage your contract negotiation a little bit with that as well.
What about you, Horst? Who do you think are some guys that could go undrafted that you like?
You said Raymond Johnson, right?
Yeah.
It's looking like maybe Marquez Stevenson.
Which is surprising.
Wow.
Let me think. Other guys that I like that haven't been picked.
Dan Stevenson, that's a good point. While Horst is trying to figure out some other guys, they can still pick up a lot of value in free agency after the draft is over.
Yeah, I think so.
And we had a video on that too, so go check that out as well.
Yeah,
Hamilcar Rashid.
Ooh, still not drafted.
If he's not
I would
drafted,
think he gets drafted here.
I agree, but I'm just saying so far.
What about Dylan Movis or Justin Hilliard? I mean, they're this late now at this point. You have to think someone's going to take
in 7th round. Yeah,
you have to.
Hey, Josh Matter-Beebe still available. Could be an undrafted guy.
Quentin Morris.
Yeah, so I think there's guys out there. There's going to be a lot of good players, and that's why the undrafted free agents is so fun to watch.
Correct.
Because you just don't know what's going to happen.
Correct. I mean, it's gonna be a good time, man. It's gonna be a good time indeed. There's still a lot of things the 49ers can do. Chat. There's a lot of things they'll want to do. I mean, great.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm amazing in couch quarterbacking from Tommy Huxley.
Yeah.
Hey, I know a certain fudge head that's also good at that as well. He's really good at it. Really good.
Yeah, wide receivers, linebackers, and edge are all targets, I think, for the... Also, probably some defensive tackle you've never heard of. They did that last year with Marion Daniels. They struck the year before with Kevin Givens. So there's probably a defensive tackle that they're targeting to be undrafted. Darius Stills. Maybe he hasn't been drafted yet. He could be somebody that they could be targeting.
He didn't get drafted.
Not yet. I mean, I think we all thought he was going to be 6th, 7th round, but
absolutely
still not drafted
There
yet.
goes Larry Roundtree, a guy that 49ers talked to the Chargers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
4.68. That's scary.
Were they trying to avoid guys that might be too hard to sign for reasonable money?
In this draft?
No,
it's pretty much all planned out.
Yeah.
Everywhere you pick is going to be planned out in the draft how much money they're going to make. The only things that are negotiable are like signing bonus, and it's only to like a certain extent.
Correct.
I mean, it was going to take, roughly close to $10 million to sign their draft picks. I think that was what it was going to cost to sign everyone. The fact that they did draft more third-round picks, I think it'll go up slightly, so it's probably like $10.5 million.
Somewhere in there, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Gonna be interesting indeed. All right, chat.
Did Marvin Wilson get picked?
Marvin Wilson? No, he did not get picked. That's a good one there. J. Ellie.
I don't think Scary Terry got picked either.
Scary Terry did not get picked either. You were right.
There's a lot of guys still out there. Free agents or undrafted free agents class is gonna be great.
Absolutely. Big shout out to our 4 newest subs here that are public. Public subs.
Thank you guys.
Mr. Jeremy Stovall, Gary Poole, Football Master 79, and Katie 216. And, of course, to every single one of you guys that have been participating in our live streams and our chat, whether it's Monica, whether it's Gary, whether it's Dan Stevenson, Tommy Huxley, Cody Bailey, a lot today, Pablo Diablo the last couple of days as well, Dames Daniel. I mean, there are so many names. I can't even keep up with it. Jay Ellie, of course. Johnny Coolwater today making his first appearance as well. Tommy Huxley, always the great Tommy Huxley in our chats, lighting up. Kenny Seeger, Kenny Samar. We had another one today earlier, Ernest Batley. Shout out to that gentleman. Caleb, always here as well. Mr.
Always.
Swink here as well. Guys, Lou G also, another newer face, newer name that's been around as well. We appreciate all your guys' support. We really, really do. We don't have any round 7 picks. We traded that away first for running back.
Correct.
That's accurate.
Well, we didn't trade it for a running back. We traded it to move back with the Aaron Banks trade.
Correct. And then use that capital to come up for a running back. So technically a running back, I guess you could say, but it's fine. It is what it is.
Is that the whole Inso facto?
Inso facto. That's what happened, right? That's what happened. Chat, it's been a lot of fun. We had a good time today. Diamador Lenoir coming to San Francisco. I'm happy and excited about that. Talanoa Hufanga. Horse is getting the energy right. Look at him flexing just like the man over there.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? Overall, draft weekend for the Niners may be done. The draft's still going on. We still got undrafted stuff. But the 49ers Cutback podcast is not done. You got content coming out tomorrow morning at 11 a.m., Monday at 11 a.m., Tuesday, 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, Wednesday, 11 a.m. release, recording, Thursday, 11 a.m. as well, and then next Friday, a nice live stream with hopefully a lot more news to talk about, some more breakdowns of the guys that they've drafted, maybe a little bit of discussion getting ready for the schedule release. Who knows? The only way to know is to be here. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. That way you're notified when we go live, when we post. And always, comment. Helps the algorithm, pumps our content out to more people. And the more people we have in chat, the better conversations we're going to have. The bigger this community grows, the more fun you have.
Yeah, and we're glad you guys are all here, and we want you on every single video that we put out. Jump in all the comments. We will talk back. We always talk back. We like to have great conversations with people. We will not get offended if you think differently than us, because that's what it's about. It's about bouncing ideas off each other and coming to the consensus that we just want the 49ers to freaking win, and anything that needs to happen to make that win will happen. But we'll have disagreements on how things are supposed to be looked at, and that's what the part of the conversation is. Fun conversations on this channel all the time.
Yeah, that's what's great about this stuff is not everyone's going to think we need the same thing to win.
Agreed.
Accurate. Everyone's got a different lens. Let us see through yours. Could help the team, could help us, makes this content better. It's been a lot of fun. Thank you guys for joining us for this whole draft weekend.
Someone is asking name, please. What is that? Johnny Coolwater. Talking about the black and white hat guy on the left is really sick. Are you talking about the hat?
Oh, the hat's
Sorry about
sick.
your hat.
Yeah.
Ant's hat is sick.
Yeah, it's dope. I like it too.
It's dope. He had the draft.
Yeah.
He's had the draft hat the first couple of days. Day 3, he brings out the traditional black and white 49ers.
Yeah, and if it's your first time here, I'm Ant, this is Horst, and that's Alex.
Accurate.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Might be that time, man.
Yeah, you know what time it is? Let's chalk another one up, wrap up this draft. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
Talanoa Hufanga, Diamador Lenoir. There's so many good things going on.
From the alley-oops at Keysar to the glory days at the stick. From who's got it better than us to brick by brick. It's always the 49ers way. From off-season to game day. Yeah, we talk that. It's the 49ers.